we leave the before times. Well, the framing on that is slightly awkward. All right, well, I'll scooch the chat box very slightly and see how that works. Hello, hi, welcome back to Great Ace Attorney.
Welcome.
You may notice an improvement from last week's stream. Lucky's here before I've even gotten to the main menu.
I guess that would be an improvement, yes.
Alrighty, but let's get ready to jump right on in. Hello, everybody. Make sure everything's in position and my microphones are not loose. Because we're going to go back to number 2, case 2-2, case the Cloud of Kokoro, the investigation.
The 2nd of February, 1:11 p.m., Naruhodo's legal consultancy.
So probably just enough time for luncheon before we're back to work. But yes, in court we have proved only that the victim, who is accusing our client and therefore one of the only witnesses, is full of shit. And we had to have an analysis to see if there was indeed strychnine poisoning in the tea. Because if there's not, the whole case will evaporate. Which means right now, chat, take your bets, if you don't know already. Though if you don't remember, that's allowed. Take your bets on the coin flip. Will or will there not be poison in the tea? Because if there's not poison in the tea, we have to do the game of, well, then how the fuck is my client still has a chance of being guilty for another day in court? And if there is tea in the poison, then we got to play the game of how the fuck did tea get into poison? Because, by the way, we're in a flashback right now. So canonically, we know Soseki Natsume is going to go back to Japan to be in case 2-1. Place your bets.
My bet is that it's not a strychnine that was in the tea, but it was something else. It's another poison. And it'd be like, gasp.
It's like stacks on stacks, but poison on poison. Anyway.
Cusco's poison.
We made it back in one piece. Just. To be perfectly honest, I thought we were finished there for a while. Probably one of those times I almost passed out and put my face on the bench like this.
Oh, I know. What a lot of close shaves. There are so many carriages on the street of London. You were very nearly flattened several times.
Jeez.
I mean, this is true. Pedestrian safety was bullshit for many years. I want to say until, like, post-World War II is when we actually started giving a shit about traffic safety.
Actually, no. It was actually just around World War I. I actually remember this. There was actually a big campaign from automobile manufacturers to penalize people who would be basically walking where cars would be. This is where jaywalking came from.
Oh yes, okay, and of course the push comes from corporations who want their cars to strike less people instead of, like, you know, having drivers drive safer. It's, hey, you can't cross that street.
Yeah. No, yes, I remember that. A lot of quote-unquote road safety came from automobile pushing these because they wanted to put out more cars, not less.
I need to, because now the government is slow, but it is true that I'm pretty sure it is required by law in most places to wear a seatbelt. Now, obviously, the cynical answer to that is, well, if they can write you more tickets, the government makes more money. But still, that is a law that is technically for your safety. You should wear the fucking belt, chat. Wear your seatbelt. It's better than not wearing it in most modern cars. I think there's something to be said for, you know, how the seatbelts are rigged in older cars, but I'm pretty sure modern cars are designed so that you don't break all your bones and fly out of the car.
You need those.
No, I didn't mean the carriages.
Yes, I know. It was a marvelous defense, Naruhodo.
Is that how we spell marvelous?
If you're British, yes.
Oh. Naruhodo-san, it really was. I was in awe of you.
Oh, thank you.
And now that your fervent exploits have won us some more precious investigation time,
We're gonna touch some stuff, yeah.
let's see if we can find some new clues for court tomorrow.
You know what would be great, Susato? If our fictitious legal system represented by this video game allowed us to do, like, I don't know, weeks or months of investigation ahead of our fucking court date. Is the Old Bailey so not jammed up that they can fucking arrest Soseki Natsume and put him back in court in 24 hours? Huh? They're not booked up? This is where the judge, or no, it would be Van Zieks would appear, and he would be like, "Of course, our glorious British legal system. I've closed 5 more cases this afternoon while waiting for you, my learned Nipponese friend.
They were all guilty. All of them.
Guilty. Easy as pie. I gave all the 6 jurors the juice from my hallowed bottle, and they passed the fuck out." Jeez, Lord Van Zieks, why is that? It's because I'm drinking wood alcohol, actually. I don't know what's funnier, punching up how strong whatever he's got in the chalice is, or just being like, no, it's actually just grape juice. That's why I can afford to keep throwing it away. Anyway, yes, let's do that. How do we do that?
Is everything all right?
Actually, yes, it would be Lord Strongheart, who I don't think we've seen in this game yet. But he does have a watch. I suppose I still can't quite believe it, that's all. I'm here in England, working as a lawyer, I mean. In the Old Bailey, no less.
Bruh.
Oh, okay, shit, sorry. We gotta remind everybody about the plot. Truth is, it shouldn't be me, should it? It should be him standing in my shoes. It should be Kazuma.
It was Kazuma-sama's wish that you follow him to Great Britain and work alongside him.
Yes, I mean, I never had a chance to ask him exactly why, but clearly he had a plan. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for him.
And you're doing wonderfully, Naruhodo-san. I have no doubt that Kazuma-sama would say exactly the same if he were here with us.
Thank you, Susato-san. Thank you. The first time we've been able to look around our own office. God, it's fucking wow. This is pre we moved in and shit. There's nothing here.
Oh, yeah.
Like NPS shelves. I think that's supposed to be Susato's room back there, so I'm not gonna click it because she'll fucking throw us down the stairs. This our tank thing. Yes, this is our aquarium that we're not using yet. These tanks are for keeping sea creatures. They're called aquariumu. And they were all the rage at London at one time, apparently, but not this current time that we live in.
Yes, the English are so clever, coming up with the idea of having ocean life on display in their home.
And it means you always have an emergency midnight feast on hand, too.
I'm not sure that's really the idea.
I don't know about this, guys. Haven't you guys perfected the koi pond in your just fucking backyard for I don't know how long?
It's true, but I think that is why Japanese people would be like, yo, wait, you can just put it in the house? That said, it is funny that, like, Susato's making fun of Ryunosuke here, but also Ryunosuke's out here pre-inventing that shit at, Red Lobster or, like, other seafood restaurants where you can meet your fucking meal before you order it. He's just out there being like, that lobster, he looks feisty, I want to eat him. Alright. Nothing for our giant garlic braid to keep the vampires away. That's why Van Zieks never visits the office. Okay, so it wants us to go. Oh, it doesn't say anywhere in particular. All right, so let's see. Looks like we can talk to Sholmes and Iris. I don't know why the hell we'd go here, but Susato says something about it. I don't. Logically, we should go back here, but I don't think. No, that's very good. It's just something. It's just normal. Okay, well, let's talk to Sholmes then first, I guess. If we're gonna investigate, we should speak to the great detective.
22nd of February, Sholmes' suite.
Oh, Bruno and Susie, hooray! You are back.
Hello, Iris. You're in fine spirits as always, I see.
I am. And you look as immaculately present as ever, Susie.
Oh, you flatter me.
Well, you couldn't have come up at a better time. I've just made a pot of tea. I'll set some cups. It's not like I make a pot of tea every hour on the hour. Really? Thanks, Iris. But actually, what is that foul smell?
Ah!
Aha! The Wanderer's returned at last. Where on earth have you been? We've been in court? Oh! For Mr. Moustache's case. That was today, was it? Yes.
I'm sure I mentioned it only yesterday, Mr. Sholmes.
Little do you know, Susato, Sholmes doesn't know if that was yesterday or today because he probably hasn't slept. I'm sure you think you did. Well, we can laugh about it now. So, tell me, how did the trial go? Reasonably well so far. We've managed to escape without a guilty verdict, at least. Really? I'd like to see it. And I must pass the time of day with Mr. Reaper again. It's been too long. I haven't leveled that class in ages. Is Lord Van Zeek's an acquaintance, Mr. Sholmes? Naturally, of course. Of course, my good man. There's not a person in the world who doesn't know my name, Mr. Nanahodo. Not what I asked, but okay. Literally, who asked, bro?
Oh, I am losing quality here.
Ooh, on your end, too?
Yeah.
OBS is also being a little goopy,
Yeah.
losing some frames, if you can hear me, chat. Oh, weird. The power did get a little blasted. Yeah, I can see the stream preview is lagging super hard. We'll wait a second till it catches up. Did lose power very briefly in the after for like 5 minutes. I think they said it was something like 900 people still got affected before they affected repairs. I joked that somebody just tripped over a cord and unplugged something and had to plug it back in.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, the video's
Totally
still
wouldn't
stuttering.
have bet it was like
Hold on
that.
a sec.
Oh, Aaron says that we can hear, but there's no video.
Yeah, it's still like stuttering super hard. I mean, we're paused right now. You're gonna want to look and see the little arrow bouncing back and forth. But yeah, I see on the YouTube end it's still like lagging a lot.
Oh no.
I mean, there's not like, as usual, there's nothing I can do to fix this problem, sadly. Oh, we're going back to yellow. OBS is back to green. It might be evening out.
My quality is a little subpar, but I can read.
Yeah, hopefully it'll get out. The light on OBS is green. Let's see if hopefully the numbers, the frames keep smoothing out.
Frames, Mason, what do they mean?
You can see the text box. Go ahead and read it out, I guess.
Okay.
Mr. Sholmes, whatever is that odor?
Yes, what is it? It's faint, but awful. Absolutely awful. Ah, indeed. That is the scent of victory, my dear fellows. Victory in science.
Yes.
Oh dear.
Okay, I'll bite. What's he up to now? Okay, we have two options. Lord Barak Van Zieks, yes. It's an interesting sobriquet he has, isn't it? The Reaper of the Bailey. Once the legendary prosecutor has fought for someone's conviction, that person is doomed. Doomed, I say.
Doomed.
Even if he or she is found not guilty by the courts, sooner or later the hapless soul will vanish from the capital. Yes. But vanish how, exactly?
They'll just go home because they're like, fuck this place, it sucks.
By falling under a passing carriage, or drowning in the Thames, or succumbing to a sudden fever, or quite out of the blue being set upon by a highwayman. Numerous routes to one's final terminus, my dear fellow. It all seems a little far-fetched, really. Well, on the bright side, Mr. Moustache is fighting fit, for the time being, at least. That's not that reassuring. Much like this music's not reassuring. I didn't realize we were getting all spooky with it.
If the rumors are true, though, the obvious conclusion would surely be that those acquitted are, well, by Lord Van Ziek's own hand.
As it happens, Monsieur Sato, that is quite impossible. Quite impossible, yes.
Oh? Why?
Naturally, the man very quickly came under suspicion. However, when these incidents occurred, the Reaper always had a cast-iron alibi. Really? Yes. And so his reign continues. But 5 years ago, he vanished from the courts, never to appear as a prosecutor again. That is, until you arrived in the country, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, so I've heard. In fact, it was the very day I arrived when I was thrust into that trial at the Old Bailey, suddenly. That bitter fight to the death coincided with the Reaper's resurrection. Man, you're real extra in your thoughts, Naruhodo. And it really did end bitterly indeed. Are you going to show the shot? Okay, good. I was going to say, are we going to show the shot of the carriage on fire again? That'll be they'll have to be if we do end up doing like some of the earlier AA games. There will have to be content warnings for a couple of cases because there are some shots that they like to show a lot of flashbacks of, you know, people being dead.
Gasp.
And here you are facing Mr. Reaper again. Poor you now. I don't know if you're incredibly unlucky or incredibly unlikable.
Oh.
I think it goes deeper than just me. I sense a general loathing of all Japanese people.
Gasp.
Oh! Racism? In my Victorian England?
Never. How dare you? Only a Japanese man would say such a thing.
She just pulls out the cat flap-o-matic, sticks it to my chest, all my organs fall out. All right, let's ask him.
I didn't want to think about that. Great. Now that
It's okay.
No.
We're gonna figure out whatever the fuck Sholmes is doing. It smells awful. So
why did you curse me with this?
what is that incredibly, indescribably foul smell?
Oh, Iris just put the cap flatomatic up to someone's stomach and spilled their innards.
Actually, technically, she hasn't invented the cat flap-o-matic yet. I just remembered because
True.
that was for when we adopt Natsume's cat, which we haven't done yet because he's still in the country. Ah, well, most probably this, I would say. It's a little glass vial. That's probably like a 5% joke. And what is in your little glass vial? Zydrate! My dear fellow, it is of course my latest invention. A chemical test that can identify whether or not a tea is genuine at the drop of some tea.
Oh my! How incredibly specific!
Yes, there are some unscrupulous sorts manning the stalls at some of London's less frequented streets. They'll try and sell you pond water as if it was Earl Grey.
Listen, you slap a fucking nice logo on it, you can probably sell pond water for a pretty good price.
Well, if not that I'm not very broad on either of these things, but my understanding is that the way like wine tasting and snobbery works is that most of it is made up to sound fancy. If tea is the same way, then yes, you would just say that the pond water has earthy undertones and, a hint of dark chocolate or something, a hint of wild vegetables, and somebody would be like, yes, of course.
Speaking of old things again, it was back in the 1940s, I think it was. That was Butterfinger's entire marketing campaign. They didn't really use any special ingredients, but they just said it was a really, really fanciful, and that shit sold. The biggest contributor to that was I can't remember the movie, but it was one of the early Shirley Temple movies. They actually got product placements of a Butterfinger on there, and that really drove up their sales. So, marketing, baby. Watch out.
Yeah. And I mean, to this day, they're still doing it. Did everybody get their Butterfinger bracelet for Final Fantasy VII?
I kind of do want a Butterfinger now. I do like Butterfinger.
I mean, that's what, we all get in the hole. The moment you brought it up, I'm kind of like, shit, man. I can go with Butterfinger.
It's like,
what
the stuff gets stuck to my teeth, but, man.
Yeah, because it's probably got butterscotch in it, but I should look up what's actually supposed to be in it. All I know is it's chocolate, is a wafer, and there's some good shit in somewhere in there. And that's all you need to know.
Cocaine!
Butterfinger. So it purports to be high-quality tea, but is in fact merely dried leaves of drab flavor. Just any old leaf, man. Which, technically, the concept of tea is actually pretty broad. There is a tea plant, and there are a couple different varieties, but before humans got in the habit of, like, globally cultivating and drinking tea, people were putting herbs in water and boiling it for a long time, so that is technically a tea, but it is not a high-quality tea. It's not like you're getting, some oolong or some high-quality black.
Honestly, you can call most things, a lot of things, a tea nowadays. Hell, I got some apple cinnamon tea. I'm just like, wait a minute. I was thinking about it. How did they make this?
That's actually a good question. Well, it depends on the quality, because there's, artificial flavors. If you want to do it naturally, I think you can just, like, put the tea in, like, the bag or container, or while it's loose leaf, and just kind of, like, gently infuse it with some essence,
I might see about that, because I do like apple cinnamon. I wonder if I can make something more natural, because I'm pretty sure the apple cinnamon tea I have is artificial flavor.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny, because I don't drink, but I know that it's very easy to get about any kind of flavor infusion in alcohol with either a syrup or just an infusion, because alcohol and water are very, very good at breaking things down. So if you want a flavor, just put it in there and let it sit. You want to get vanilla bean extract. All you do, throw a couple vanilla beans in some Everclear and sit. There you go.
Oh man, that reminds me of fucking Skittle vodka.
Yes, I've heard the story of Skittle vodka. Vodka's another one that's usually pretty. The reason why you use it in mixed drinks is because it's colorless and fairly flavorless, from what I understand. So you can put anything in there.
I should get me some shitty ass vodka and make me just a rainbow Skittle vodka. That'd be fun.
Honestly, I think because of the Skittle vodka story is why so many vodka manufacturers now just straight up sell you flavored vodka.
Oh no, it's totally true. I think Smirnoff is like one of the biggest doers of that. Smirnoff makes some wild ass flavors, some of which I like.
I've seen some shit, because
Yeah.
I've watched a few tipsy bartender videos and other stuff like that, and like How to Drink is a great YouTube channel, but there's some weird shit out there. My favorite how to drink videos though are when Greg from How to Drink, gets a pile of something like, hard lemonades, wine coolers or whatever, and just canned cocktails were a couple of videos he did, just cracks them open.
Oh god.
Some of them are actually like authentic. Many of them are not, and I wouldn't say Greg's really a snob about it, but he likes his mixed drinks a particular way. But like, it's definitely like some of them are just awful. Anyway, the tea is bad, so when one must be presented with what appears to be black tea, one must be careful. Iris. Stand
no,
back,
science is about to
motherfuckers.
happen.
Yeah, I'm about to say, stand back, motherfuckers. We're going to do some science. Goggles down, Hurley. Let's add a drop of my chemical to this tea here and see what happens. No, I'm
It's
not
going
going to
to
put my
explode.
fucking safety glasses on. What do you think I am, a pussy? Ugh. It's turned completely
Okay.
black.
And what a foul odor it's giving off.
Indeed. I knew it would be this way, and I still... The blacker the tea becomes, and the more foul the odor, the better the tea is! It appears that this cup was particularly fine Darjeeling. That's very ingenious, but what do you do with that black liquid now? Why, dispose of it naturally. Surely you wouldn't want to drink it, would you? Come on, man. You
I
crazy?
want to throw it in his face. Just.
There does seem to be a rather obvious problem with your new invention, Mr. Sholmes.
Hence why this chemical test is merely a test, my dear madam. We're going to artificially season it with maybe some vanilla bean later. Right. It's funny because like in the original novels, you know, Sherlock Holmes, who is definitely not Sherlock Sholmes, does do a lot of his own inventing, but I think it was just, you know, the different culture at the time. He almost never is trying to like, he's like a reverse tech bro. Like, he's just inventing all of it so that he can fucking solve crimes better because that's the only thing he wants to do with his life. And even though some of these processes are probably marketable, he's just chilling. He don't care. Anyway, the point is we are entering a new era of science. A world of criminal investigation also.
Has forensics been invented, yes?
Oh.
Yes, forensic science. Oh, these are such exciting times.
I do believe we had the word forensic science around this time. This is, you know, when you got shit like World's Fair and stuff, so doing science was very cool in the indeterminate Victorian period we're in. I regularly engage in this scientific experimentation alongside my unofficial consulting detective work. The Sherlock Sholmes method will be the foundation upon which the modern investigative technique is based. This little tea indicant was a happy byproduct of my ongoing forensic research. Forensic science? I suppose you should find out more about that. There's definitely not recurring characters in other games in this franchise who are forensic scientists. Yeah, we're just collecting all kinds of fucking conversation topics. Unfortunately, they're ordered fucking weird, so we're gonna keep jumping around. This is, I think, one of people's main complaints about the formatting of these games that I do kind of agree with, which is talking to people with the different subjects. I get that, like, obviously for space reasons, you know, coding everything separately is probably easier, and you have to have, like, certain unlocks that only happen if you, like, present them things. But, like, why, when we talked about Lord Van Zeeks and then we decided to have a second conversation about Japanese people, did that not either insert itself second, or did we just roll right into that conversation? Anyway. With Mr. Natsume, who I'm currently defending, being Japanese, as well as Miss Susato and myself, I felt it even more keenly in court today. For some reason, Lord Van Zeek seems to be racist.
Ha ha ha, Mr. Naruhodo, that's not a word.
Ah, indeed. It is an interesting observation.
Do you know something about it? Do you, Mr. Sholmes?
I'm going to fucking cancel you on Twitter.
Oh no, this is a serious face.
It was about 10 years ago that Barak van Zykes chose to enter the legal profession. However, before that time, the young man's closest companion hailed from the Empire of Japan.
Shit, the music! No! The beats are fresh!
No.
What the? Tell us more, Mr. Sholmes. What happened? Were they roommates? I believe I've made it clear before. I'm unable to tell you anything about that affair.
Oh, but...
The veil will be lifted on the events of the past in due course, I have no doubt. Maybe it's like the third case or the fourth case. For now, however, I believe it's Mr. Mustache, which is most deserving of your attention, I believe, yes. Because he's in fucking prison, man. You got to get his ass out of there. He's not going to last a day in there. So your T-test, is that an example of forensic science? Indeed, yes it is.
Just thinking about it, I think Natsume would probably be fine in jail if they just gave him some books.
He would probably be a very model prisoner. The problem is this is Victorian England jail, so they would just be like, "What? You want books? You want to read, little funny man with the funny mustache?" I don't know how to read. An essential tool in cases that hinge upon the quality of whether or not some tea is of high or inferior quality. Not a huge number of cases, then. Perhaps a more practical example is required. Fingerprints? Not yet accepted in court as evidence, I might add. Really, we're dragging our heels there. Hadn't even heard of them until recently. Which is partly why I undertake research in this field myself, of course.
Does that mean you're studying fingerprints, Mr. Sholmes?
I know that we did do the weird blood test thing last time, but Chad, you remember? Do we have fingerprint minigame in this game?
I don't remember.
I'm asking if it'll be in the future, because we haven't before. We had the blood matching, but there are other games in the AA series that actually are like, hey, fingerprints. Because fingerprints are really fucking handy, Chad. It's astonishing to me that, it's something we just didn't know about ourselves, but every human literally has unique prints upon their hands that are 100%, completely unique to you. And they're fucking everywhere because your skin oil is, like, sticky as hell. Oh, there are others in that field already, and I abhor the company of inferior minds. No, what I'm researching is skin prints. Skin prints? A nomenclature of my own design as this chemical that I used to make possible. This one's pink. It tastes like cotton candy, Mr. Naruhodo. Candy floss, as they say here in Ingerland. It instantly reveals objects touched by whichever person is under investigation. Well,
How?
don't ask questions, just put it in my backpack. I'm gonna need
Yes,
that
it'd
shit
be
for
useful,
later.
but how would I get a court to accept this bullshit?
Oh, there's no especially with Van Zeeks as the prosecution? No fucking way.
Brilliant, Mr. Sholmes.
In fact, I'm pretty sure in case 1-5, Van Zeeks was like, yes, this blood thing is very cool. Not admissible as evidence, my guy. Sholmes literally made this up yesterday. As long as it doesn't turn everything completely odorous and black. I assure you, my dear fellows, you will witness my forensics talents in action very soon. Well, I think we should go back to the scene and see if we can uncover any new clues. Let's split up, gang. That's the spirit, Runo. See you later. Yes, until
Okay,
later.
I'm sorry. That's very cute.
I know, it's great.
I love it.
Also, yes, You're going to investigate. Shums is like, cool, bye. No, Mr. Shums. We were thinking you'd come with us. You what? Why? Yes, of course. You said just so a moment ago. We said we would witness your forensic talents in action. Ah, yes, I do recall saying something like that. But you go on ahead. I'll show up later when you click the right button of dialogue. I shall be sure to follow you later, in all likelihood. Probably. Maybe. Well, I might. I like how his theme started and then just petered out.
Just to die.
Your commitment astounds me.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Shums. We eagerly await your arrival.
Bye-bye, Bruno. Bye, Susie. Take some tea in this thermos with you. Well, Susano says we haven't visited here in some time, so that's usually a hint that there's something going on.
Well, she's gone. One of these. Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
What do you suppose is happening? Sounds like some sort of disturbance.
Oh shit! Something is happening.
Oh. Yes, I hear angry voices. What?
Oh, excuse me.
Do not be angry, O Empire Lady. Verily, thou art mistaken. I don't remember who was Olive Green.
I don't know, but I'll go for it.
Go for it.
Mistaken my foot. You were looking at my painting.
I don't know if that's the voice, but that's the one I'm going for.
The eye of man hath not heard, the ear of man hath not seen. 'Twas foul indeed, the poison that mustached villain hath given me. Forgive me, lady.
I wish you had died from that poison.
I think that's more online.
God a mercy, Empire Lady, but thou seest, I have vigor still. Behold, my Shakespeare dance! We can dance. We can dance. The rat's kind of vibing to this in the background, too.
This looks rather ominous, doesn't it?
That's not the word I would have chosen, Miss Susato. Ah, lo, 'tis the lawyer from the land whence riseth the sun. How now, brown cow? What are you doing here, Mr. Shamspear? Mary, I do believe I am returned unto another world. Whoa,
Oh shit!
she's a picto.
Yeah, she is a picto.
He was looking. That's what he was doing. Looking at my terrible work. Maybe she's more high-pitched.
Eastern fellow, so dark ye clad. Faith, their work in court this morning was wonderful. I do applaud thee. Thank you? But
Oh!
that doesn't mean things will go so wonderfully tomorrow for you, does it? Ah.
Shit! Whoa! How do you do that?
Anon, excellent. Etouble.
My urge to do violence to this man only grows.
And he just, fucking teleported out of here. Chad, in case you can't tell, I have great fun doing Shamspear's voice. Mr. Shamspear might technically be the victim in this case. There's definitely a lot more to him than that. It's hard to pin the man down. Also, I think he might be a little... a wink.
I'm so sorry. I'm such an awful person.
No, yes, I like this voice better for her.
Ah, Miss Green, is everything all right?
Oh, yes. I mean, don't worry about me.
He didn't try to dab on you, did he?
That man dabs on everybody.
They're about to discharge me, so I must get ready to leave now.
Oh, I see.
We're delighted that you'll soon be well enough to go home, Miss Green.
Oh dear, you're too kind. I don't deserve it. Maybe we could ask about what the argument's about. Oh no, we don't even have a converse.
Probably wants us to click on her to keep talking. But, whoop. Okay, now it's how do I? There we go. That's how we tab over. Because there's a photo we already looked at. Oh, we can't look at the painting that was thrown on the floor. Okay. Thank you for seeing the obvious. There's lots of bottles in that cabinet, aren't there? You think it's safe to keep them like that?
No, it is not.
If you were a patient here, I feel sure you take some medical medicine by mistake when you're half asleep.
It is a way. At least the cabinet has a lock, even if it's only a flimsy-looking one.
Oh.
Oh, I've no doubt you managed to unlock that somehow while you were half asleep as well.
There are limits to even what I can do when I'm half asleep, you know, Mr. Sato. I'm not some kind of locksmith.
Okay, so that might be interesting.
Whose chart is this? This looks like whoever's the treatment notes for whoever's occupying this bed. Luckily, there's no fucking privacy laws yet, so let's see here. Do not permit to run around the hospital.
Patient doesn't seem to be here at the moment, so...
He or she is probably running around the hospital, then.
Oh dear, how worrying.
What's worrying? It's why they haven't discharged the patient yet. Okay, so yeah, we got Olive in her big bag. Oh, Mr. Mouse is
Rat.
fine. No new dialogue there.
That must be a bag of Miss Green's personal belongings.
She would have been brought directly here after she was found stabbed on the pavement, though.
I expect a friend or family member probably brought some things for her.
Alright then, let's see what's inside. A change of clothes, no doubt, and...
No, Mr. Naruhodo, you must never scrutinize a young maiden's personal belongings.
But she might have chocolates, or biscuits, or caramels. I love how Ryunosuke's not even thinking about, like, for, like, you know, detective work. He's like, I want to see if she has any candy, Susato.
I want candy!
Okay, alright, let's talk. So, are you feeling more like yourself today, Miss Green?
I am. Thank you. I mean, people do recover from ordeals like this, don't they? Even people like me.
Yes, it really was an ordeal, wasn't it?
As far as I was concerned, I was just walking along the snow one evening, minding my own business. And then, completely out of the blue, I was struck in the back by a knife and collapsed unconscious for days.
Which I'm still not exactly sure about. I guess it was just like shock and surprise. She just passed out.
No, clearly she has beef with Sham Spear and was using the unconsciousness as an excuse to steal medicine from the hospital and poison him.
Of course, when I finally woke up again yesterday, the whole business has been cleared up already. What a terrible week it's been for you. No, I'm sure I'm very lucky, really. I look back on this fondly.
Really?
Really?
Anyway, I must be getting my things together now, so I'm ready to be discharged.
Oh, yes, of course. Sorry to take up your time when you're obviously busy. Oh, I guess there is no further conversation. Okay. Alright, now we're talking about Ms. Shrum's investigative techniques, so... Let us return to the scene of the crime.
22nd of February, Mr. Natsume's lodgings, ground floor.
Oh, hello again, Inspector Gregson.
Oh,
What are you doing here? Well, we're hoping to have another look around, actually. We're, like, charged with investigating.
Oh, a lawyer representing the defendant has a right to examine the scene, as I'm sure you're aware.
Yeah, I know the score. Oh, yes, one other thing. The soap on the ledge outside the window. Did you find it? With the tea in it? Yeah, we found it all right. There was a small amount of tea in it, as you said. I knew it! It's with the identification section at the yard now. They're looking into it. The results should be available later today. Because, you know, there's not a backlog at every forensic lab in the country yet.
It's wonderful news. Thank you.
man, people do a lot of crime nowadays.
Also, I do think it is a testament for, like, while unfortunately there are still a lot of court cases which are solved by the power of witness testimony, because humans are wired to believe humans, I guess. But witnesses are dumb, and they're full of shit. But I think we have done a lot to just, like, yeah, no, forensic science, it's probably right. We got some kinks to iron out, but, you know, we can get some stuff. Though, it's funny, even as far back as, like, 30 years ago, DNA testing was still a little shaky. You know, be careful. Fish and chips. Pretty impressive.
I think we're losing it again.
Oh, yep. It went red for a second. It's flashing. OBS is, like, flashing yellow and red. It's not, like, staying. That's really weird. We're losing more frames.
Oh, no.
Again, the joke I was going to make earlier, I said, you know, there's nothing I can really do to fix about it. There's, sadly, I can't, you know, get a hand crank and make the internet work better.
Oh, I wish.
Oh, the amount of things I wish I could solve with, like, a foot pedal or a hand crank of just, like, that, like, frustrated energy when shit's not working. Okay, green light again. I think we're good.
Yep, we're clearing up.
All right. So, by the way, Chad, just to let you know, for fun stats, OBS tells me how much percentage of the stream it's dropped the frames. We went up to 6% of like video dropped or lost on that first outage. And then the percentage goes down, obviously, as your, like, time goes up without having lost frames. So we were all the way down to, like, sub 4%, like 3 point something. We're back up to 4.5.
Oh.
We were losing a lot of goop there. Hopefully it evens out. All right. I think I only got, like, halfway through this. Pretty impressive performance in court this morning. Sorry? Nothing. Forget it. Just make sure you don't disturb anything in here. It's still an active crime scene. I'm gonna stand here. Ah!
Ah!
I'm gonna stand here and stare at Sholmes' ass. Okay, well, before... No? Okay, we already clicked that. Good. Alright. Let's look. There's a new conversation about the tea and the soap. We can obviously tag Gregson because he's standing there. We got all that stuff last time we were here. Oh, new conversation about the meter. And the window. So, as usual, I will do everything in my power to avoid talking to Sholmes until absolutely necessary. If you ran out of change, you wouldn't even have any light, let alone heat. For the needy, London's winters can be very harsh.
That's true. But if you think about it, even the wealthy would find themselves freezing if they ran out of small change.
It's true. London's winters can be very harsh for the forgetful, too, then. Frankly, I'm starting to wonder if Susada-san and I are going to make it to the spring.
That's true. We don't even have a meter on Baker Street, let alone a gas stove.
It's okay, you guys have a wood-burning stove. Look how dark the stain on the floor is under the meter there.
Yeah, it's from all the water dripping out of the ice coins melted as you established in court this morning.
It's a very large and obvious stain, isn't it?
Oh, excuse me. Mr. Shams here must have used an awful lot of ice cones. Ice coins, I suppose.
It was an ingenious idea, I'll give him that. Dialogue for this weird box and this suspicious one plank in his fucking sideboard? No, okay. I'll continue to be like, what's going on over here? Winder. The sun never shines in this room thanks to that depressing bricked-up window.
Yet, with enough determination, you can always remove the bricks to set some soap outside, can't you?
Sounds like a very wise life lesson, Mr. Sato.
Only if you plan to follow a life of crime, Mr. Naruhodo.
I don't know. I was gonna take it more of like when there's a will, there's a way.
It's true.
So it turns out that Mr. Shamsphere wasn't eating the soap at all.
That's right. The mystery of why he had on a plate holding a fork in his hand is solved.
Yes, to prise his latest ice coin out of its mold. And in the process, he accidentally broke the bar in two.
Something was hard to imagine, let alone deduce. Oh, okay, the teacups are separate from the soap. Also, yes, hello, X. We're just chilling. We just got back on the scene of the crime. Ah, the ill-fated teacups from which the ill-fated men drank from on the ill-fated night. Guess I did a little ad-lib there.
During their heated literary debate, yes.
Sounded more like a professional wrestling match, if I'm gonna be honest. Who's stronger, Romeo or Juliet? It sounds like it was quite a discussion.
Now that I think of it,
I'm pretty sure now it's supposed to be now that. Now I think. Well, no, I guess now I think of it could work too, but I would usually assume that that's in front.
Now I think of it, I'm sure that the two lovers in the play ended their lives with poison.
That's fiction, Mr. Sato. Let's hope it stays that way. Alright, well, I think we've unfortunately exhausted everything. We must click the Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes! What are you up to over there?
No, you should say it like a pet. Mr. Sholmes! Back!
Mr. Sholmes, what are you up to over there? What? A question indeed! Was it not your good self who asked me to attend the scene? I put my coat on and everything. Boy, what are you doing there, Sholmes? What are you doing over there?
Oh, get out of here! Get!
What are you up to over there? What are you doing here? Dear me, once a great detective, one is always under scrutiny, it seems.
Is now the time, Mr. Sholmes? Are you about to show us your forensic talents and actions as you promised?
With the greatest of pleasure, my dear madam.
Oh?
Oh, he does have his goggles on. Oh, shit. He's getting serious. What's all this, then?
They spin!
Oh, this is precisely what you requested, Mr. Naruhodo. Herlock Sholmes sensational skin print seeker gun. We're going to do an on-rails shooter section now, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, please take me off of Mr. Sholmes' wild ride.
This fucking animation.
Get me off Mr. Sholmes' wild ride!
Moments ago, I took a sample from the teacup that was used by the victim. A sample from Mr. Shamspeare's cup? Each individual leaves microscopic secretions on everything he or she touches. A sample of those secretions is all I need to produce this, a refined indicator solution. By deliberately spraying the room with this chemical, everything the victim touched is instantly revealed with the aid of these goggles. Here, try them on.
Oh, it's ultraviolet.
There, now, spray the chemical indicator about and all will be revealed. It's like we wanted to use luminol mechanics from, like, earlier games, but they're set in the fucking future, so I had to make some bullshit up, Mr. Naruhodo. Spray? How do I do that exactly? Oh yeah, we're gonna get some fun little buttons. A little press of X on the area you're interested in is all that's required. Like this. What is this stuff? It's like a fog. A suspension of the chemical indicator in a pressurized gas. It's the most effective way to cover a large area. There's another invention I discovered incidentally while I was developing this idea. As you do. Go ahead, try it, my dear fellow. Maybe I learned something interesting about the victim's movements on the nights in question. Well, there's not a lot to lose, I suppose. Let's explore. Activate shoot mode. Okay, so nothing there. Over there.
Right over the board. Oh, a lot of
Yeah, we got
tugs in there. Yeah.
There. Let's hit the board, yeah.
Aw,
Open
son of a
the
bitch.
board. Oh!
Oh.
But he moved the box that night. That also got the
Yeah.
chair and the table. Touch all the cups. Touch this thing. Do we touch the stove? No.
You touch the lamp?
He touched his laundry, which is funny. Yeah, let's see. Did he touch the gas lamp?
No.
Doesn't look like it. But he put his
Oh.
hands all around the painting. Oh, and a little on the lamp. Look, there are dozens of handprints here. Spaced very oddly, Mr. Shows. What the fuck is going on here? Insert the Pornhub intro sound here.
Yeah, I was about to say,
So there are! A great many indeed. So much so that it's hard to make out one individual print, in fact.
It sends a chill down my spine.
Perhaps he was leaning against the wall while he admired this picture? Unlikely, I would say. It's a rather dull scene, after all.
And without wishing to state the obvious, you generally wouldn't admire a picture from such a close quarters, I feel.
Oh, very true, Mr. Sato. It's a bit of a mystery, then, gang. Also, interesting that his handprints are all over the lock as well. So he touch the kettle, touch the
Can we
box.
scoot over?
Yeah, we can scooch him. We touch the lamp a little bit. Touch some of this shit. Oh, weird, wacky handprints. Alright. Up. No. You just gonna make me spray everywhere, game? Oh, nope. There we go. Ah! Loose floorboard! Didn't even see that!
Yeah.
Oh, look at all this here.
Well, this is why we're doing this mechanic.
Yeah. Yes, interesting. A multitude of the victim's handprints.
Why are there so many of them on the floor in this one spot?
Ooh, perhaps he had a bad fall just here?
There's nothing so obvious that he would have tripped over there, is there?
There's a raised floorboard.
I wonder if perhaps you're dumb, Mr. Naruhodo. Personally, I often stumble when there's nothing obvious to trip over. It's the unobvious things that catch you up.
I think that's something only a great detective would do, Mr. Sholmes.
Well, this is quite a puzzle. Handprints all over the floor? Yes, there's no obvious explanation. Other than the floorboard is loose. God, it's really loose now that I can see it down there. I think they were using the text box to fucking hide it.
Oh yeah.
Well, we sprayed Mr. Shom's amazing skin print indicator all over this room, didn't we?
We did, but there are 2 places in particular that are of interest, I would say.
And he's
Handprints on the floor there. And on the wall by the picture, you mean?
Yes, and I think the floor warrants a closer investigation. I won't be a moment.
What is it, Mr. Sato?
Look here, Mr. Naruhodo. One of the floorboards has popped out.
One of the... You mean... It's a secret hiding place?
Yes.
Just do the fucking, you know, you said the word of the day type shit for Pee-wee's Playhouse. Woohoo! Secret hiding place! Excellent work, Mr. Sato. Watcha! So, what do we have here? Oi! What are you lot doing? Inspector Gregson! You're still here? We didn't cover you in skin print solution? No, I went into the hole to keep eating my fish and chips. Sounds so right, mate. It's my job to start investigating there. No need to, Inspector. You continue to dig into your portion of chips whilst we dig around the floor here. Oh, would you like another? Sholmes just pulls another fish and chips out of his pocket. Your fancy talk's putting me off me food anyway, Sholmes. Now, your bit of evidence is exactly what I need. Wow, a secret hiding place under the floor. What a find. Wow.
It's not a hiding place you can make use of in Japan. I don't think it could lift a straw to tournament.
That's actually factually incorrect. There were actually plenty of hiding places in Japanese houses.
Yeah, I do think that tatami is heavier than you'd think, but no, there's crawl spaces. You can hide a lot in the wood paneling of walls and sliding doors. No, I know, but I never expected one of these wooden floorboards to move either. It's got me wondering about the wall over there, too. Yes! Think about the wall. Aren't you curious?
Oh. I'll investigate it once.
This is a great face to go with the line, I'll investigate it once.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'm not sure about, like, the handprint, like, height. But it's, once again, I think Shamspear would have had to be leaning over pretty far. Though... Can't tell. Is Susato wearing flats?
Oh no.
There's nothing behind the picture, sadly. Only the wall.
Maybe it's the picture itself.
How disappointing. I would have loved if there was something cool behind the picture. But then, how do you explain the handprints?
I really can't think of why anyone would have been touching the wall over and over in one place like that.
Click. Where? There you are. A print for you. Sure,
Oh.
you can get that shit to show up on a camera? Of course I can.
Wow. Actually, wow.
Oh, thank you very much. His invention can make.
Wait, does that mean the
prints too.
camera's in his goggles?
Yeah, I don't know if it's supposed to be in his goggles. I am pretty sure in one of the, like, a cutscene in a previous case in the last game, I think he did, like, have, like, he's got, like, a fucking, like, Polaroid printer in his back satchel, in his butt backpack. Now then, I wonder if Inspector Gregson has found anything under the floorboard there. I'm desperate to know.
So am I.
let's double check the print first. So no closer examination, but always good to know. All right. Love to know if there's anything hidden underneath that floorboard there. Ah! Allow me to ask you, Gregson, now. After all, we're well acquainted. Inspector Gregson! Really, it's been too long. What is it, Sholmes? I thought perhaps you might show me what you found there. Seeing as we're such good friends, yes. Aha. We're not friends. No, I suppose not. A dismal failure. Yes, I heard. Kill to know what's under that floorboard. Alright then, fair's fair. What? Huh? Nani? You did discover the hiding place after all. I suppose I should at least fill you in. Really, Inspector? Thank you. Do it quickly, my dear fellow! If there's one thing I know about this man, it's that he blows with the wind, as fickle as the weather. Oi, stop making me out to be some kind of nut. Like a coconut or a banana nut? Alright, there were 3 items under the floor there. A newspaper clipping, a photographic print, we've got to come up with a shorter way to say that, and a tin box. Now, what you want to know? Hopefully we can click all of these, but let's start with the clipping. Looks like this was cut out of paper about 3 months ago. It's about a convict who got sick and died while he was serving time at Manchester. Manchester United, by the way.
Oh, just judging by that face, is this person going to be related to Miss Green?
Maybe. He died? He made the headlines down here in London as well. The book had been sentenced to death, you see, but nature got him first. Just imagine Gregson just spits when he says that. You can't believe we couldn't execute another criminal.
Oh my goodness. He committed a capital offense.
Man by the name of Selden. Nasty piece of work. Into burglaries and murder. They say the hoard he knocked off was worth about £1,000. And this is Victorian money, so you know that's a lot of fucking money. A hoard? Of treasure? You mean? Jewelry and like. But he hidden it somewhere. And no one knows where. And now he's dead. Papers loved it, of course. Yeah, I don't know. I think Selden might supposed to be his last name, but we'll see. Papers loved it, of course. £1,000 lost en route to hell was or some such was the headline. Does it not strike you, though? Why such an article would be so carefully ensconced under the floor? Yes. I suppose now you mention it, it does seem a bit weird. It's a bit odd. Perhaps I'll go over the paperwork we got on Selden back at the yard and see if I can turn anything up. The capital offender article has been entered into the court record. We'll do all 3 of the dialogues and then actually check them, because I bet they all go in our court record. So, this is the photograph I found. Looks reasonably recent to me. Yes, it would appear to be taken on the street in front of the house here.
And the gentleman on the left is Mr. Garadib, the landlord, of course.
You are a little quiet, by the way, Lucky.
Oh, sorry, I was leaning back.
Gotta watch out for that with them microphones.
No.
And the gentleman on the left is Mr. Garadib, the landlord, of course.
Who looks like he's stepped in something funny. But who's the young man on the right? Mr. Garadib's son, perhaps? Perhaps. You can take that print if you like. Really? You sure? We can presume, therefore, that the yard already knows the identity of the young fellow, that is. Ah! Is that true? You should have said that part out loud. Well, it's too bad if we do. Unfortunately for you lot, leaking information isn't one of me pastimes. This is funny because in the 5th case of the last game, which is in the future, he was talking about stuff with that weird, shady JoJo character guy. My dear Inspector, if I may be so bold as to point something out. Pastimes are for one's leisure. This is for work. Oh, more reason I'm not telling you then. Ah! A dismal failure! Yes, I heard. Ooh, does that mean we're gonna get the rule of threes?
Hmm?
Hidden photographs been entered. Like, is he gonna ask Gregson something and get a dismal failure a 3rd time? Rule of threes. Wonder why a photograph like this was hidden under the floor. I mean, Mr. Shamsbury himself isn't in it. Photographic prints are still rare treasures in the East End. I imagine Mr. Gerger was rather delighted to have been immortalized. Probably made a proud present of it. I thought Gregson was gonna have some dialogue for that. No, okay. The tin box. Now, this tin box looks interesting, doesn't it? But it's just an ordinary tin. Might I suggest, Inspector, that you open it? If you find something inside that reveals the truth behind this case, I wouldn't be the least surprised. Yet, funnily enough, I've already had a look. It's completely empty. What? Shamspeare, give us a clue, man. Come on. Fucking blueballing me here.
You didn't even have a chance to utter a word, Mr. Naruhodo. But anyway, we at least found out what's inside the box.
Yes, thin air. It's empty, rather like how I feel inside.
Oh, shit.
Is there nothing more to this box, then? I wonder.
Neko!
A meow.
Wagaha! Hello, friend. Yeah! This is the content I want to see. Excuse me.
Oh, look, it's that lovely little kitty cat. What was its name?
It's Mr. Natsume's, isn't it? I don't think we ever actually asked him, actually. Why don't we call it, Wagahai. You know, like how Mr. Natsume refers to himself in Japanese. I wonder how he got in here. Clever little cat.
Oh, is there like a secret passage behind the fucking boards or something?
Oh, wonderful. Well then, Wagahai, here's something delicious I brought for you from the Cat's Meat Man.
Wait, what? You just have this? What? Why?
Meow.
Yeah.
I do think that Natsume asked us last time to look after his cat while he was in jail. Maybe
Oh, true.
A couple weeks ago, while he was actually in the prison cell. But yeah. Your tribute is accepted, human. I shall not destroy you this day. Nap time now.
He couldn't be happier now, look.
Let's hope he can bring some happiness to his owner, too. Oh, he's making...
Look at him just kneading.
Oh, he's got a little idle animation. Okay, let's look at our new shit. We got... Oh, okay. So... Oh! Gregson didn't actually give us the tin. It's just a Strange Ways prison. That's the death of convicted murderer and burglar Selden by natural causes. By the shots of his fellow cellmate, medical staff found him dead. Well, it is a snippet, so there's not a lot going on there. And then hidden photograph, just magnifying glass mode. We got medals. This kid's got some brushes, which
Probably
do...
acquaintance of Miss Green.
Yeah, I'm about to say, they do kind of look like the same, like, obviously it's the same art style, but they look similar to the brushes Olive has. Looks like a perfectly normal boy. We got any people? Green, Natsume, Gregson. Ooh, Gregson's got a stressful life. He's starting to go gray at 44.
I mean, hell, I'm starting to go gray at 37. I got plenty of gray hairs. Well, the Waga's not here. Can we investigate how he got here?
Yeah, I'm gonna go check on him. I'm just thinking about Beric Van Zeeks is 32. That means that 5 years ago when he quit, he was in his mid-20s, and when he was hanging out with a Japanese guy, that was 10 years ago allegedly when he was fucking 22. Though to be fair, that's a lot better record for prosecutors than other games in the Ace Attorney series, where I think major character Miles Edgeworth started his career as a prosecutor, at which point he is undefeated until the start of the first game at age 18 or some bullshit. I don't know, man. It's one of them Japanese game things. If you can study abroad, you can do anything. There's also other ages, but I don't want to spring those numbers on Lucky yet. Like I said, I already own the original Ace Attorney trilogy. We may get into some of those games at a later date. Alright, so let's go Examino. Obviously, cat.
Go.
Stretchy.
This is very important.
That was a cheeky little meow, Wagahai.
Oh, but he's so adorable. I could sit and watch him forever.
Yes, Susato, that is all the human race will ever accomplish, is finding new ways to sit and watch cats.
I mean, Ancient Egypt was onto something,
I think he may not appreciate that after a while. And we have an investigation to get back to. I think earlier, just before we started streaming, I retweeted something from a cat Twitter account that was a cat in a...
Oh, we can't.
A cat got in a PC case somehow.
Okay, I guess we can't investigate how the cat suddenly appeared here.
No, not at this moment. I clicked on Gregson, so do we just fucking... Let him converse. I guess we gotta move on. Sounds like Susato's suggesting we go back to our office. Yeah, she went back to St. Larry. Yeah, I can't even present either, so yeah, I guess we gotta skedoodle. Oh, we do some dialogue. Let's see, that's probably gonna be pretty recappy, so let's ask what's next. Okay, we know Sasaki-san took teeth and the victim of the night in question, but as he isn't the culprit, then obviously...
Yes, the poison surely wasn't in the tea.
At least on that poison. If that's the case, how did the poison get into Mr. Shamspeare's body? Thank you, Ryunosuke. Interesting. Oh.
There must be something in Mr. Shamspeare's room that will help solve the mystery.
Okay, so she says to go back there. Well, naturally, Scotland Yard detectives have been over the place already. It could hurt for us to have another look around, I guess.
Definitely. and I'm desperate to know the outcome of the investigation into the tea left in the bar soap.
Well, if we run into Inspector Grayson, we could ask about that. Technically, we did already. Okay. We could ask about Cosmo's wishes, but I feel like this is all like it seems like it's all recap stuff. Yeah, I guess it's telling us to go back here, but there's no new like stuff. Nothing new there. Nothing new there. Go on. Oh. I can't look any further over than this. There's no new dialogue about the window, sadly. It says
Can you check over the clothes again once more? I thought okay, no, I was just blind.
Yeah, just for the meters, one for the window, there's one for all the props and stuff. But it says
Did we
we've
talk
all
to
done
Gregson
that.
again? Because he's still there on the ground.
Yeah, it's we've done this dialogue. Well, let's see. Yeah, it's just
Yeah, no, okay, it's all there.
Can we like run through this conversation again, just to see? Because last time we finished the dialogue and Wagahai immediately popped out. Okay, no. Interesting. Nothing there. Nothing there. I guess we started just moving through locations and fucking hunting for stuff.
We should probably go speak to Mr. Garadeb about the dude in the picture, but...
Actually, yeah, that's true. We should see if we can present the picture to him to get some more info. That's not, like, directly related to what we got going on, but we can see.
But, like I said, we might be able to figure out why... Broken his bicycle.
And I clicked on the bicycle before?
There's always seems to be a bicycle outside the Garadib residence. I read that bicycles are extremely popular all over Great Britain at the moment, in fact.
This one seems very warped, though, especially the front wheel. Also, yes, actually, you just stepped back. If you're just joining us, or you had some of our technical difficulties earlier, we returned to Olive Grimm's hospital room. She was in a very threatening conversation with Mr. Shamspear, who also was very mean to us. So there's definitely something going on there. She is involved in the case. How exactly? Not sure yet, but we're getting some vibes. But also, yes, this one seems very warped, though, especially the front wheel. So to make it more of a challenge to ride, do you think?
No, I'm afraid that might be the result of the writer's incompetence.
Wow.
For the front wheel to be so badly warped, I'm afraid that the writer may have been similarly afflicted.
And there's a good chance Mr. Natsume is practicing on this bicycle, I think. Ow!
Oh dear, I fear you may be right.
Yeah.
Okay, so he has a bicycle. Oh, interesting. Front door. Garrett of households, Mr. Natsume's lodging, prominent on the corner. I also noticed that 2 of the fucking windows above the door appear to be shattered in. I'm gonna look at the building. I can't help but feeling it's a bit of a slant.
It does rather look like it would collapse in even the smallest earthquake, doesn't it?
That's why they don't have to worry about those over here, Susato. And it's supposed to be haunted too, isn't it? I had a hunch as to why Saseki-san had such a hunched back. Alright, let's find nothing. We can check in with our buddy the snowman, but that's gonna be like turbo nothing. Let's do as you suggested and see if Mr. Garadeb is in his room.
One second of February, Mr. and Mrs. Garadib's room.
Mr. Garadib appears to be out.
Son of a bitch. Well, I suppose we'll just have to come back again later. Alright, so he's not in. Natsume, are you in? Game, I could use a direction here. Nope.
Okay, he's not here either. What the fuck?
Check. Iris, you sitting in the corner? Oh, she's typing. What are you working on, Iris? Iris. That's incredible concentration, that is.
I find it quite remarkable how she can focus on so many different things at once.
Perhaps I should try drinking more herbal tea.
Herb.
Then third from the right would be good for you, Bruno. Oh, Iris? God, it's destined for great things, I'm sure.
I would love a fucking spin-off game with Iris.
That'd be pretty cool. Give me the fucking...
No, give me the fucking Van Zieg's Iris cooperation.
Yeah, that'd be... For like, the great Ace Attorney version of the Investigations games. Which... I don't think I've brought that up, but yeah, the Investigations games are Miles Edgeworth, the prosecutor, and some of the other supporting cast from that, so... Get some wild shit in there.
Like something's happened to Sholmes, and that's two most unlikely allies must have come to find him. I love it.
Did
What are we
she-
missing?
No? Okay, so she's still here, and we've examined everything in this room, right? Yeah? Well, I can examine the second one. I
May
guess
might
for
as
the sake
well.
of clarity, yeah. All sorts of medicines in this cabinet. Everyone like this.
Yes, you're right. I can imagine if you were peckish, you might try a whole bottle or two.
Well, at least there seems to be a little lock to secure the cabinet doors.
I don't imagine that would stop you if you were hungry. I worry that you'd break the lock.
So this is just the same conversation, but about Ryunosuke being hungry instead of tired. Hungry doesn't turn me into a criminal, you know, Mr. Sato. This isn't a fucking Snickers commercial.
Not
Okay,
you
cool,
when
great.
you're hungry.
Not very helpful. Can we actually look at this? I know
we check the picture again?
dialogue. Photograph and frame. Ha!
Okay, I knew we had seen this picture before.
Oh, yes, it's a picture of a young gentleman.
He's about the same age as Miss Green, I would say. And yeah, we've seen these dialogues. So special someone, and then she's gonna be like tee-hee. Alright.
Can we try talking to Miss Green again? Show her the
It
photo?
says the check mark. Can we present in this stage? No. So it sounds like it is going to be something in Mr. Shamspeare's room, but what is it? Is there a way we can move Gregson out the way?
I could have swore there was like, maybe it was just when the front screen, but I swear there was like a little. Okay, no, it's not. What am I missing? I see Wakahai on that patch,
Already clicked on it.
but
Stairs, it's all the same. Nothing new there. And I can't
Unlocked
present
on-
anybody because people refuse to stand and talk to me. All right, chatters. I know it says no back seating, but what am I missing? Does anybody know where I need to go? If not, I can try and dig up a walkthrough and see. Because
I'll
I'm not
start
really
digging up a walkthrough now.
sure.
Like, can we check what's in our court record right now?
That's history. R1 for court record. Okay, so we got my armband, the secondhand book receipt, which hasn't come up. We've got the street map, bar of soap. Let's see, anything?
Already
Oh,
did.
I guess we do technically have new dialogue on this. It's looking at me with a one hollow 2 centimeter wide eye.
I don't want to look up the walkthrough because I have my reasons. I don't want to accidentally spoil myself.
No, I would grab the walkthrough if I
Okay.
needed to check, but I'll give chat a second to see if they remember what we're supposed to do next. Coins of ice.
No, my theory is that Shamster was in prison with Selden and learned of Selden's fucking pound horde, and Selden is relating to Miss Green, and so he's been hounding Miss Green, trying to figure out where he's held the stash. And Miss Green is like, "Oh my God, I can't be affiliated with this man," and has tried to kill them by stealing medicine from the hospital to poison him, and she was like faking being unconscious. That's my thing, but
Olive Green does wear a key around her neck, which is weird. But yes, that is, I think, probably a pretty good guess because we heard earlier Shamspear did time, and that has not come back yet.
yeah. So, like, that's my theory so far, but I'm just like,
Nothing new really. Just reminding us anything with this. Oh, there's
I mean, we can click on it.
Note opener or scissors.
yes, whoever opened it, it was clearly someone with an unrefined temperament. Yes, we have done the skin print.
Yeah. Like, if anybody's... what I would be looking for if I was going to start grabbing a walkthrough would be after Wagahai appears, because he appeared and we had dialogue, but while that seemed to be a marker that the plot was advancing, that didn't really go anywhere, even though we should be asking the question, how the fuck did this cat get in this room?
Garabdeb is not in this room. We went to go check.
I mean, we can double-check if he's, like, mysteriously back now.
Or maybe we can, like, examine something in the room or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe we can go examine and start poking stuff around and he'll teleport magically back. Yeah, nothing
Yes, let's go do that.
Teacups. Yeah, not even new details on the teacups. The crime scene photograph.
Look at his graph.
Where the gas meter, the handprints on the wall, all this new stuff. Okay. Alright, let's move back up to his office and look around, I guess.
Yeah, we went to prison, and guess what? Frickin' Natsume wasn't in prison either.
Yeah, we don't have... yeah, that's our thing. We don't have anybody here. There's nobody new to talk to, but Gregson won't move away from his stuff. Okay, well, let's see if that does all that. Yeah.
All right, go to the prison.
Do I have to exhaust all the recap dialogue options with Susato in our office? I really don't want to, because most of that stuff's pretty redundant.
We might have to.
Well, I'll go do that if we...
I do know that this game is... Wagahai has shown up, and he's being a cheeky little cat. I love him.
But there's no new dialogue with him, and I can't give him things, so...
but yeah, head back to the thing and exhaust the things. That might be it.
Prison is one down, so we'll double check if he's back. No. All right. No, they haven't showed up. Iris is still typing. Let's make sure there's no dialogue at least. You know this. Yeah, this is all just recap shit. He's a gas thief. Watch out.
Phrasing.
Are we not doing phrasing anymore? Oh, actually, this would be good. This will work. Receiving treatment. I guess you probably should have tried to talk to Susato right away, but he has to save the moments or parts. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess
Miss Green isn't staying there. So it was very funny that we didn't have to talk to Susato about that, but could still go back to her hospital room and, you know, see there was some shit going on. Now you're phrasing. Yeah, we have already done that, and we looked at his end, so I guess we'll check on Kazuma's wishes, and this will magically tell us a third place to go. Kazuma Sogi, the best friend I ever had. A lawyer with such promise. He really saved my bacon in that horrible incident just before we left Japan.
Flashback, back.
He's got the fucking point and everything. I can picture him now, so fierce and determined in court. And then after that trial, that crazy idea he came up with to smuggle me to Britain. As a stowaway? Yes, you can fit inside my trunk if you curl up small enough, I'm sure. No one will know. Curl up small for me, Ryunosuke. Look at my headband. Indoors.
Drifting in the wind.
No, we did not get the tin. Gregson won't cough it up. But we did click all 3 buttons of dialogue. Weren't you here for that? We came back and we double-checked? I guess if he's looking at the walkthrough, you wouldn't know. Kazuma, why won't you tell me why? Why go to these great lengths so that I can accompany you to Great Britain? Well, it's been on my mind ever since we got through that trial that you really ought to go into law, you know? Be a defense lawyer. You've got natural talent for it, believe me. I guarantee it.
I don't know, man. I feel like someone's been holding my hand this entire time.
I never thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, I can't force you, obviously. You have to decide for yourself. Anyway, London is the cultural capital of the world, the city at the forefront of everything. Can't hurt for you to see it with your own eyes, unclouded by hate or some such. No, that's true.
Well, I do get that there's something supposed to be happening, Axe, but I do think it's a little weird.
I don't know. Maybe it is like I said, and we have to. I had to clear all of Susato's dialogue here.
Yeah.
It's one of those weird things where, like, on the one hand, I appreciate that the game like immediately gives you the freedom to get out of there, but also, if all of that dialogue was mandatory, because a lot of this is recap stuff for, like, hey, remember the fact that this is technically the second case in a second game? You may not remember all this shit. There's like a year between, or 2 years maybe even between games. It would be great if the game just wouldn't let me leave until I talked to Susato, or started me in dialogue with her. There are some conventions that are funny about the game. And honestly, some of the games that were on, like, Game Boy Advance are worse. If you were to become a lawyer, then one day... One day what? Oh. No, never mind. Huh? Don't worry about it.
Naruhodo-san.
I can't present the photo to Green. You can't present in that zone. I appreciate looking at the walkthrough acts, but I need you to also pay attention to the stream, because these are all things I have done on screen since you said you were back.
Yes, he's forever in my thoughts too. Change the Japanese judicial system for the better. That was his dream. And that's why he so desperately wanted to come to Great Britain to study, of course.
Yes, that's right, but...
Yes.
I do wonder if his true intentions lay elsewhere sometimes. I don't know, the thought just takes hold of me every now and then, that's all. You know, it's weird that he, like, made me sleep in his closet, you know? That's kind of strange. Ooh, okay. Well, there is a bonus dialogue here, so I guess we did have to do this. Very weird for them to hide progress behind this.
Naruhodo-san, what do you mean by Kazuma-sama's true intentions?
Say Gex, Susato. Ah! Whoa.
Sword!
Wasn't expecting that animation. I mean this.
His katana?
Which I better not be wearing around my hip as we wander around London. That's gonna get me fucking arrested.
I'm pretty sure you do.
I've never expected to inherit this sword after Kazuma passed away, of course.
No, I know. It's because I asked you to take it.
When I have it at my side in court, I feel as though it gives me courage and power and wisdom. Like some kind of master sword. Actually, the night before he died, he told me a little about the sword. Yes, he did have some dialogue about the sword. Kurama, I think its name is? Oh, Karuma. Karma. That's right. It's a prized sword that's been passed down through generations of the Asogi clan. A Japanese man's sword is his soul, Ryunosuke. I can't be parted from my katana.
Unless I die.
Karuma guides me. I truly believe that. So its name compels its wielder to slice evil in two? Not that you would need much compelling. Also, you know, I noticed you did a fucking air render. You did a fucking, you know, spirit pressure cut in court. Slapped the hair right off the prosecutor's head. There could be something hidden in the sword. Probably not a key, but there's sometimes a little hollow space in the pommel, the base of the handle, or wrapped in the hilt. Unfortunately, it's not in my court record, so I can't fucking check. On that subject, there's something very important that I have to do in Great Britain. Something you have to do? Metal Gear? Yes.
Can we please stop just repeating?
I'd appreciate you seeing it through with me. Of course I will. Whatever it is, I'll see it through to the end with you. Definitely not without you if you died. I knew you wouldn't let me down.
What did he mean by something very important that I have to do?
I hope the answer to that question will become apparent when we arrived here, but as yet, I've not found a single clue.
I see. Clearly you haven't been looking hard enough. You fucking wastrel.
Okay,
All right.
So, let us try... Move us?
All right,
Oh,
so
she is now saying we haven't been to this place in some time. No, again, well, no idea what we had to double check some of that shit, but okay. Clearly that was our problem.
Okay.
Here we go.
We're moving on.
I guess he was hiding under the bed before.
Oh, Mr. Natsume is back.
So he is. Mr. Natsume! Hello!
Hello there.
How are you? I know you're in prison.
Ware denakaru.
I'll take that as the read. Sorry?
I feel like I want to do this like in a funny voice, but
I don't know who Mr. Natsume is, or who Lock Shelms. I don't know about courts, or trials, or Baileys. I am a cat. That's what I am, just a cat. Mr. Naruto, he's trying to escape from reality.
Mr. Naruhodo! He's disassociating! That's what that word actually means rather than when we use it. Trying to? He already has. Completely. He's gone mental. So, what's your name then?
As yet, I have no name. Mr. Naruto, he hasn't fully thought out his new identity yet. It might not be too late to bring him back to reality.
Oh, there goes gravity.
no.
Do you think you could open your eyes for us, Mr. Natsume?
I am not a cat.
All right, he's back, everybody.
Ware deneko janai.
It worked. He's back in the real world. What's going to happen to become of me? No! Don't answer that! It's obvious!
My accursed soul is never going to escape this accursed fate!
Mr. Natsume, no! His mortal proceedings in court prove that there's hope. Yes, yes. Locum student Mr. Naruto Esquire was brilliant, but the Reaper is omnipresent and caught in my lodgings. Here, there, everywhere.
What's he looking straight at me for? I think perhaps there are some things we should discuss.
Oh, yes, we must.
Zoop.
Enhance. Converse.
In my whole life, have I ever been so moved as I was today? No! Of course, if I cast my mind back, there was perhaps one or two other occasions that moved me more.
Oh, also, I should say, Axe brought up, like, shouldn't we have, like, put Shamster in protective custody? Technically, he's supposed to be recovering in the hospital. He was poisoned. I believe that Van Zeeks or Gregson, when he was brought in, one of the two of them said that they, fetched him from the hospital and he went right back.
What if I just blocked those out? Then today, being that in that courtroom was... It was the most moving experience of my life. Locum student Mr. Naruto Esquire!
You're too kind.
I like doing Natsume. Scotland Yard found the remaining tea, just as we deduced, and are analyzing it as we speak. There's nothing wrong with the tea. They won't find a drop of poison in it. That's Solemn, sworn, Soseki, certainty.
Good use switching to a C word there. Tell me again, did you both drink the tea at the same time that night? We already know the answer to this, but...
Oh, yes, most definitely. Remember, drink tea while it's hot. We both poured it down our throats like it was a hot bath for our bellies.
Oh, interesting.
And at the time, you were both completely fine.
Wait. Then where did the other tea come from?
I believe Soseki said earlier he left the kettle with, or the pot with, Shamspear. As shown by the fact that he and Mr. Shamspear then engaged in the Romeo and Juliet match.
Fight.
I suppose the focus of tomorrow's proceedings will be how the poison was taken by the victim. The victim's poison. The poison for the victim. The poison meant specifically to kill the victim. That poison.
Rotten Shamspear, what have I ever done to him?
You don't recall him taking issue with anything you've done recently?
I've been holed up in my room, immersed in books.
I know, same brother.
I don't recall anything at all.
Right. Calm down.
But what I don't understand is why he didn't let me know sooner. Let you know what, Mr. Natsume? About the soap, of course. What else?
Oh. He totally would have done the same thing.
Oh dear. Are you struggling with such a meager stipend? Of course I am. If I had money, I wouldn't have to choose to live in a cursed existence in such accursed lodgings.
Oh yes, you said it's because the place is cursed that it's so cheap, didn't you?
Oh, wait, what if the person that died earlier was the guy in the photograph?
Could be.
It comes together. I see it. The threads, they connect. Exactly, especially that room that I rent. The spirit of that capital offender who's...
Oh. Okay, maybe it wasn't the guy in the photo. Maybe it was someone else.
Well, when did Selden die? It may have been a while ago. I don't know.
It was like 5 months.
Because obviously Selden wasn't in the room when he died. He was in prison.
spirit of that capital offender who lived there still haunts the place, and it's trying to kill me!
But this is going by the rule that we have been applying and, always should be applying, which is that there's no coincidences, everything is connected.
Yes.
Capital offender?
Might I ask, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, that the next time you visit me, you bring scores of super soft soaps.
Okay, interesting. Nothing new, but can I present like this? No, it doesn't look like it, so we have to go back a menu. Let's see if Natsume knows who the fuck this is. Mr. Natsume, it's nothing much, but...
Oh, it's been too long since I've been offered a present with that delightfully humble etiquette of our homeland.
What?
You're too kind. I accept it gladly.
Sorry, but I wasn't trying to give it to you, actually. I just wanted to show it to you. Okay, wow, so, no.
No, the picture,
Let's
yeah.
trade this one, though. Ooh, yes, okay.
What's this?
It's a newspaper cutting we found in Mr. Shamspeare's room.
Ah, so he knew, did he?
Sorry?
About this man, Selden. A convicted killer and the evil spirit behind the curse that afflicts my lodgings. Ah, yes, yes. The motive comes clear. Shamsir wants Soseki-san out of that room so he can move into it. Yes, yes. But what? He's already taken one young man's life, and now...
By the way, I did the fucking Leonardo DiCaprio point when the line played. I'm like,
Oh! Wait, maybe there's multiple killings in there.
So, Selden goes to jail. He dies in prison. We're assuming that, because we saw from the newspaper clipping he had a cellmate, we're going to assume that that's Shamspeare, because otherwise we're introducing new characters, which we don't really need to be doing right now.
No.
But Shamspeare goes to sign up for lodgings at the Garrodebs, but perhaps he finds another young man there already. That guy dies under mysterious circumstances, and Natsume immediately moves in. And so Shamspeare frames him for trying to kill him with poison. Now the question is, did somebody else try and fucking poison Shamspeare?
I think so. I think Shamspeare, Miss Green know the first man, and she also might be related to Selden. I have a feeling. And he's trying to take the life of another, a miserable, maligned Japanese man. It's all connected. It's all connected. I'm getting closer. I can smell it, taste it even.
Mr. Natsume, if you know something, please, you must tell us. Tell us everything you can about the evil spirit.
Yes.
We're cooking.
The truth is, I didn't know the details myself until very recently. That Selden man was arrested about a year ago now. And at the time, he was hiding out in lodgings at Mr. Garrodeb's house. Oh, we're definitely gonna have to go talk to Mr. Garrodeb now.
What? He lived where you do now? What can I say? The rent was cheap.
Right, yes. Exactly where I live now. In my very room. Oh, you know what? I bet the fucking stash is in the passage that fucking Wagahai used to get between the rooms. Oh my, your room was previously occupied by a criminal found guilty of a capital offense. But before his sentence could be carried out, he died in prison. That was 3 months ago now. And that's when it started. The curse. What really is this curse you keep mentioning, Mr. Natsume? It's already caused one death, a few months after the criminal passed away in prison. A man died in the room. The man who rented it after Selden, in fact. The poor lodger. He was found dead in mysterious circumstances. The room was locked from the inside.
Locked from the inside? Metal Gear? like the case we're dealing with now. So that's the convict's curse, is it?
Well, yes, well, that was the start of it. Oh, what if Shanspeare has been using all the free gaseous to pipe it up into
And that's why he's like fiddling around the wall near the pipe. Yeah. Get his extra gas flow when the meter's on. Fuck with the flow. Because Garrett said earlier, all the gas tubing is connected in the house. He can tell when his lodgers come home and turn on their lights because his gas lamps flicker.
Yeah. So, again, that's the thing. I'm understanding maybe how he fucked, like, he's fucking over Natsume here, but I still don't understand how he got poisoned. My guess is Miss Green tried to poison him, but it's still... I'm missing, like, 2 pieces, I think.
Yeah. That's going to be the thing that's, like, we're probably not going to actually get to except in court, because I bet that, like... No, I think right now we're doing the classic trick of detective fiction. We're a couple steps ahead of Ryunosuke right now. He hasn't figured all this out yet. But once he does, he's probably going to be like, I think I have an idea. But how the fuck did the poison get there? I'll have to, question Miss Green on the stand. Because I bet she's going to end up on the stand.
I bet she's going to end up on the stand.
Because she's got a, we've already seen, she's got a full set of animations. She's got, like, her defensive one where she's, like, holding her fucking palette like a shield.
Like Miss Green is connected probably to Selden and the young man, but how, I'm not entirely sure. And to Shamspeare, as we've seen. Do you have any idea how the lodger before you passed away, Mr. Natsume? The official cause of death was asphyxia. Oh yeah, no, he totally died of gas poisoning. Yes. Yes. I am correct. I am brilliant. When they discovered the body, the room was full of gas.
Gas?
Gas. I only found out after I'd signed the lease. When Mr. Garrett came to tell me later, I couldn't stop myself trembling. In fact, if I'd known beforehand, I'd probably have been too scared to take the room.
Which is why Mr. Garrett didn't tell you.
Also, I'm gonna be real. If you knew that the room could fill up with gas and that might have, asphyxiated you, wouldn't consider that maybe that's what's happening to you right fucking now? I'm gonna be real. Landlord, lease, luckily legal.
By the way, in real life, I do actually think there's no guarantee you'd win the case, but I'm pretty sure that's tantamount for a civil suit about violating your lease agreement if, like, hey, some guy, died of gas poisoning under mysterious circumstances. No, I haven't done anything to change the gas system since that happened.
It's like, yeah, no, if, I mean, I don't know, maybe not to, do you not know what, like, being short of breath is like? It's like...
I mean, if Natsume did never suffer from, like, the literal gas leak episode, he might not realize it. He might just think it's the sleep paralysis demons. But yeah, it sounds, because he's described the curse before, and we'll probably do it again, which is he, like, wakes up short of breath and feels like there are mysterious figures standing all around him. Which, again, probably is him suffering from asphyxia. This is why it would be great if they fucking knocked out those bricks out of their windows so they could fucking breathe. Get some crossfit.
Yeah, but then it'd be colder.
Also true. Right now, it is winter. You'd be fucking dead. Lucky for Mr. Garrett, maybe, but not so lucky for poor Mr. Natsume.
Listen, I don't know. I have experience. I almost got fucking carbon monoxide poisoning once. So yes, I know what a room is like to be in a room full of fucking gas and having it very hard to breathe.
And now you believe this curse is affecting you?
It is. It is. At first, I just felt as I was being watched. all the time.
Is there a fucking Scooby-Doo portrait in your room, Mr. Natsume?
There might be.
And then you talked about having nightmares, didn't you?
The dead are trying to take me with them. They come for me and try to suffocate me. Just when I'm struggling to breathe, I wake up.
That is actually true.
And the room is as cold as ice.
Why is your room so cold? Oh, yeah, Sato's right. Sorry.
But
It's my turn.
why is your room so cold?
Also a good question. Is he
Yeah,
leaving the
actually,
gas on and then it's getting blown out? Also, by the way, that would also fucking kill your ass too. Is if Shakespeare has a way to shut off the gas flow into your room by fucking with the vents. That would that'd be pretty bad for you if you're not well insulated.
None of the windows are too cold to bear without any heating on overnight. But for some reason, even though I light the stove before I climb to bed at night... Oh!
So he
pilot
knows
always
it's filling
goes
with gas.
The pilot light always goes down, the room fills with gas.
Yeah, no, fucking Shakespeare's been trying to kill him.
Yeah, not despite his paranoia, Suseki is too he's too chuny. He thinks it's a fucking ghost trying to kill him when the obvious answer at this stage is Shakespeare, known gas fraudster, is fucking with the gas somehow. Again, not sure how, but we did see some skin prints around the wall under his gas pipe and on the pipe.
But
That's terrible.
Now I did it, son of a bitch.
It's okay, I did it first. We're all doing it. We'll all do it tonight. We're excited. We want more content, more mystery, more drama. That's the exact same situation as what led to the previous occupant's death. I'm fucking establishing a pattern in my head. And then there's what happened to Mr. Shakespeare last night when he was mysteriously poisoned. There's clearly more to that incident that can be explained by a curse, though.
whatever could be the cause of all these strange happenings in Mr. Garrett's rooms?
I don't know. Let's go ask Mr. Garrett.
Yeah, I was about to say, let's go fucking ask him. He better be there this time. That's me. You got anything? Okay, we got 4. That's probably pretty good. Let's see. Do I have anything else I would want to show him? No. Like, he might have some funny dialogue for, like, the teacups or the soap, but I don't think we need to show him anything.
No, I think we need to go speak to Mr. Garrett. We need to talk about the rooms. We need to talk about the guy in the picture. This is important.
Yeah, Susato is now saying we haven't been there in some time, which isn't actually true, but I think that's the game's way of saying, hey, you should go back here.
Yeah, no, we're getting the text again. It is time. 22nd of February, Mr. and Mrs. Garrett's room.
He's back. Thank God. Ah, you're here now, Mr. Garrett. Thank God. I was worried about the plot.
Quite volley business it was for me, you know, getting out and about.
You're at the Old Bailey by any chance?
Naturally, afraid of my lodgings hanging in the balance and all that. Not the sort to miss.
Oh, he's in the public gallery. Cool. The fate of what's already been dubbed your haunted lodgings, yes.
Clearly we're gonna have to call him to the stand later, because he'll be in there. Again.
I mean,
Of course the Blazers calls are stored around the capital more than one occasion already.
it's okay, buddy. Once we deal with Shakespeare, who's causing the curse, you're going to be rolling in it, because if I know anything about humans, fucking ghost tours, you tell them this shit is haunted, bro. I'm pretty sure we're getting to the point where goth people exist. We're post the invention of the word gothic, anyway. Find some weirdos.
When did the goth subculture begin?
Like, the actual subculture as we know it? I would assume probably, like, 70s or 80s is, like, a counterculture thing, but...
Oh yeah, no. It says late 1970s when English goth rock, a dark and somber offset of punk rock, was rising in popularity.
Yeah, there's a music genre that it started as, but there have been sad British people dressed in all black clothing for many, many years.
Wow.
possibly even
interesting.
centuries. I mentioned to you guys last time on in Rain that technically we're in kind of a 1600s 1700s. The first prototype of what would become Gothic horror literature would have been just starting around then.
Interesting. Some people say that Screamin' Jay Hawkins, known for "I Put a Spell on You" 1950 songs, is attributed to the foundation of the modern goth style of the music. Wild.
I mean, Screamin' Jay Hawkins was kind of a shock jock.
He
I Put a
was.
Spell on You. You remind me of the Man.
Yeah.
What man? Man with the power. What power? Power of voodoo. Good shit.
Yeah, no. As the old haunted lanterns are some such.
Well, at least he knows.
Makes you wonder what the blaze is going on, don't you know?
Trust me, brother, I am right there, but don't worry, I'm solving it in my head. If this was
Yeah, we need to show him-
this was a different video game, we'd be building a fucking logic board in our brain right now. Colored
It's true.
string and all. Hold on a minute. Wait a fucking second.
Yes, I'm sure it does. In fact, thinking back to Mr. Natsume's other trial just 2 days ago. You were at the Old Bailey then as well, weren't you? Testifying with your wife about what happened. We're not even going to acknowledge it!
He doesn't even fucking say anything. He's just there.
Stopped off at the prison on the way home, in fact. Basically business.
I see.
Oh, you didn't have to get up, my man. So, what brings you to my haunted abode today, eh? This is sticking with him.
I can't tell if Mr. Garrett hates our guts or not. Because I'm pretty sure he's just.
Can we examine? Can we look around? Is Holmes just in here somewhere?
That's probably a good question to double check. Okay, no.
Okay, no. Okay, no.
He's not hiding yet.
Okay.
All right, we're good for now. All right, let's.
Sorry, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, let's converse first, and then we'll present him the picture to get some extra stuff, I'm sure. I want to say, I do love how the game just sneaks Sholmes in. Like, we'll just go to examine or finish a line of dialogue, and the, game zooms out, and he's just fucking there. I don't think he's ever been just standing there in a different conversation, though. And nobody questioned it. But also, yes, what I was going to say is, technically, I think we're responsible for Mrs. Garrett being in prison right now, because she did involuntarily assault Miss Green.
Some fishy fellow from the Far East and a failed actor chapped of questionable character, eh? Yes, the house does seem to become something of a magnet for rum fiddles of late. Thanks to that bolly curse.
The convict's curse, you mean?
The stories, have you? What scandals arrested here, and then the next chap in the room goes and keels over. I think I'm actually losing my voice a little bit. Then there's that woman that dropped dead just outside the street, not to mention the actor yesterday.
Well, we're at over 2 hours already.
I can still keep going. It's not like I'm planning on doing a lot of talking like tomorrow and stuff, but
No, I'm just saying,
I
we
do
don't
feel
have,
like-
to, don't have to hold it together too much longer.
yeah. Am I next then, eh? Well, can't help but get the collywobbles, can you? When you say the woman who dropped dead outside on the street, do you mean Miss Green?
Because she's not dead. Sorry, I've done it again.
Because Miss Green.
Yeah, it's a Reno
who was
scale.
stabbed- Oh shit!
I know. It's confusing sometimes because we can't. The dialogue's all first person, but yes. That's why I said I did it again. Because Miss Green, who was stabbed by the knife, and Mr. Shamspeare, who was poisoned last night, are both very much alive still.
She's even moving like she was the one talking.
It's true.
Yes, well, so that is the blasted convict's curse, it seems.
Personally, I should be quite content with such lodgings. A bath, a toilet, fireplace, and a fascinating history. Why, it sounds like the lap of luxury. First of all, Sholmes, no it doesn't. I've seen your place. Baker Street is great.
I love it.
For a town apartment? Fucking rad. You have a fireplace. You have enough room for you and Iris to have your workspace. You have actually a big fucking living room, to be honest. And I assume that you and Iris have separate bedrooms. So, like, you're cooking. I'm not so sure about that.
Well, there's no bath or toilet included, and no fireplace either.
But you do look out for your tenants, don't you? Oh, Ryunosuke, you've been spoiled by having... Oh.
Wait a minute. If you don't have a bath, how do you guys stay clean?
I think there was a wash basin in Soseki-san's room.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know, it's the East End. I don't remember the name of the landlady in Sherlock Holmes, but she's usually very nice and understanding to Mr. Holmes. But presumably she would be our landlady as well.
Oh, her name was on the tip of my tongue, too. Look it up real quick.
By watching the rise in flames of your gas lamps up here... Oh, actually, hold on, let me double check. There's freezing. Lookout, I guess, could be interpreted a couple of ways.
Miss Hudson.
Miss Hudson, yes. No.
Yeah, it's never hurts to keep an eye on things in case there were any mishaps or such like. Oh, is it because of the...
I think you've had your mishap already, sir. That's not helpful, Mr. Sholmes. Also, when the fuck did you get here? Heaven forgive me, the words just came to my lips. Because I have attention deficit disorder, Mr. Naruhodo. I won't be diagnosed for like another 120 years. That's why I do cocaine. They haven't invented Adderall, Mr. Naruhodo.
God, I need Adderall.
There's also actually probably... Like, I believe that Doyle, like, based Holmes on a couple of different people he knew, but that is a fairly common interpretation these days that Sherlock Holmes was neurodivergent in some way and probably self-medicating, doing cocaine and morphine and shit. All right, more about the lodgers. You did say this already.
Some fishy fellow from the East End and a failed actor chapter of Questionable Character, eh?
There's no need for that, Mr. Garadeb. You said that line of dialogue already.
That's right. Mr. Natsume is in no way fishy.
He's more catty, if you like. He is undeniably peculiar, however. Is it right that he took the vacancy immediately after the previous tenant passed away?
Yeah, that's right. I asked the estate agent to find someone and he popped up the very same day. Yep, nope,
Oh, wow. So, also, by the way, I want to point that out. I think that means that Shamspear's got to be the most cursed conspirator ever. Guy kills a guy with gas poisoning somehow, sets it up. Presumably so he can be like, "Verily, my landlord, may I move into the one downstairs? It would be so good for my actorial knees. My bardic knees." But Garadeb scoops up a guy same day.
Never came across a chap so keen for a place with a background, as it were.
I don't think it was the back room's background he was as keen on, so much as the cheap rent, actually.
So, how long has Mr. Samshire been lodging under your roof? That failed actor chap? Let me see. Oh, of course. Yes, it's been about 3 months now. Quite sure of it.
Oh, yeah, it's been 5 months since Selden died. I bet the new guy moved in, which is why Shamspeare couldn't get in the room. I bet he was still in jail.
Yep.
Only 3 months. He's quite new here too, then. And to what do you owe your certainty in that regard, Mr. Gaudadeb?
That's when he got out of prison. Well, it was that Selden scoundrel as it happens.
Selden? The convict, you mean? Do Selden and Shamspeare have some kind of connection, then?
Yes.
I mean, that part makes sense for Ryunosuke not to get. That's just us guessing because we're like, well, if he wasn't sharing a cell with Selden, that means that there's, an extra character who hasn't showed up yet, which, please, God, stop doing that. Please, no more. There's so many people in this fucking case already.
That convict chap, Selden, passed away in the Culling 3 months ago now. You say, some malady or... Oh my god, did Shamspeare orchestrate his murder too? Gasp.
I don't know. Yeah, okay, so Selden passed away 3 months ago.
Yes, we've seen the report from the newspaper at the time. Okay, so we pull this up. So we're probably not going to have to display this.
Yes, it's probably the photo with him and the as-yet unnamed guy.
Well, it was only 3 days later that the tragedian showed his voice, that actor fellow.
Really?
Really? Yes, I remember quite distinctly.
'Tis small, this world we inhabit. Prithee, landlord, hear my request. I, the humble Shamspeare, do desire to take thy room on the middle floor, offered erewhile for rent.
Terribly sorry, not, but that won't be possible.
Oh, right. Natsume's one up. It's
Yep.
Shamspeare who's got the ground floor.
Yep. Already have a lodger on the middle floor. Ground was vacant there.
This reaction is probably going to be very telling.
Yes.
Nothing can be made out of nothing. Let me repeat mine will unto thee.
Those calls must be muffling your ears. The room on the middle floor's taken. It's ground floor or nothing.
Very well, we have an accord.
Glad to hear it. Welcome to Briar Road.
Lo, a Shamspeare dance to celebrate! Oppa
Here it
Gangnam
comes,
style!
Yes, no, my plan, I am correct. Yes, yes! What I heard in court today sounds like the chap was Stephen Gass. And he was 3 months in the ears with arrears and rent too. Yes, the fellow was a bally player, all right.
All right, okay, so normally, we all know landlords usually suck ass, but I do want to shout out Mr. Garrett up here. I think he's saying that Shamspeare hasn't paid his rent in 3 fucking months since he moved in, and he hasn't, beat his ass with his cane yet. I mean, not that I know, I would worry he would win that fight because we were suspecting, Shamspeare is a multiple murderer, but still, he hasn't thrown this guy out on the street in the middle of winter. Yeah, I think Sholmes is starting to get it. Thank you for your candor, Mr. Gaudadeb. We are most grateful. By way of appreciation, allow me to say 1 or 2 words. Give me my robe. Put on my crown. I have immortal lodgings in me. What the fuck? Shakespeare, my dear fellow. One of his most famous lines. I don't think so. I don't remember that one. Admittedly, I'm usually thinking about all the dirty jokes in Romeo and Juliet. Though, I will say, that's mostly because I've seen Romeo and Juliet done live, actually seen it in person a couple of times, and both times were by a production company who, they caught the double entendres and did ham them up a little. Which I think is the correct way to play Shakespeare, especially Romeo and Juliet, where it's actually a tragedy. You need to lighten the mood a little, because it gets real heavy at the end. I wish to divulge my own learning of the subject, for I have a turn for literature too, you know. Perhaps you could turn your attention to some more apt lines that... Perhaps you could turn your ass around. back out because I can't. Even though I can access the court record, I have to hit the present button. All right, Mr. Garrideb. Just one more thing, Mr. Garrideb. Got one more question for you. I'm like Columbo. Who the fuck? Oh, I accidentally.
Yeah, that was not triangle.
Mr. Garrideb, could I ask you to take a look at this photograph?
Every time it makes me laugh.
Is that your son who's with you there?
Oh, no, not at all. He was a lodger here once. Duncan Ross was his name.
Is he gonna pay me a happy little tree?
That was my first thought, too.
I mean, his hair needs to be a little more frizzy for it, but, you know.
Yeah.
Duncan Ross looks like a man who doesn't make mistakes, only happy accidents. A little touch of alizarin crimson. Duncan Ross. Dunkin' Donut.
Oh my god, I want donuts so bad. You do not understand. Lucky needs sugar.
Hey, go for it, man. Last time I did a grocery delivery, I ordered a box of donut holes straight from the deli. That was breakfast for a couple of days.
I might make brownies later. A street photographer happened to be passing, so I asked him to take a shot. Just for kicks, really.
I guess at some point, photography was enough of a novelty that there probably were guys just walking the street with a camera being like, "Hello, anyone? Picture taken? Take a picture. 2 pence, take a picture."
I was about to say 3 pence, but who knows? Maybe. Was he by any chance the lodger before Mr. Natsume? Yes, that's right. I'm gonna be real. I feel like we have a, I don't know. I feel like I could present this as a fucking motive.
Yeah, we're understanding pretty well what's going on here. The problem is that
We don't have any, like, actual
yeah,
evidence.
there's no hard evidence for what it is, and as I've mentioned before, Van Zieks is, because he's kind of a little shit, he's a 32-year-old shit, he's gonna hit us with, "The poison, my learned friend. What about the poison? The poison for Shamspeare?" Like, until we can definitively suss out how Shamspeare was poisoned and who done did it, Natsume's still going to be on the hook, even when it's going to be clear that there's no fucking way he could possibly be responsible. The jury are still going to be like, but that, Shamspeare fella is blonde and blue-eyed and talks funny. I like him.
So the other man is Japanese. We don't do that here. Because my name's Bruce Fairplay.
I'm Bruce Fairplay, and I am a racist, and that's fair play. Ah, yes, a young man who died in the room in mysterious circumstances.
Mysterious circumstances.
Ah, just what Mr. Mustache was waiting for, one might say.
Young Duncan lived in the room at the top of the first flight of stairs before that Japanese chap.
Would you mind telling us a little more about him? Give me some fucking evidence or something? Some clues?
It's Duncan Ross. Young chap was attending art school. Had to work to pay for it, mine. Moved into the middle floor room about a year ago, after that criminal Selden was arrested. Yes. Young students are always on the hunt for rooms with a history behind them.
A history of cheap rent, maybe, yes.
This does sound like college students.
I mean, I know if I actually had to, like, I was lucky to be able to do school while still living in my home and did not have to pay for residency. That did affect the choice of school, though, when I went for my 4-year degree, because room and board fucking is expensive. But absolutely, I would have been, like, if I was out hunting for, like, a place near campus, I would be like, where is the cheapest, shittiest piece of shit I can find? Is there a crack house or a marijuana grow house that has been busted recently I could move into that nobody fucking wants? Because that would be the cheap shit.
Yes, well, anyway, it was one morning about a month ago now. I ain't quite worked out the old trick of watching the gas lamp to see what my lodgers are up to at the time.
So sadly, I was rather totally to discover what had happened. Smell of gas out there to me, it was.
Ah, yes. Synonymous with the smell of death.
Called the blue stairway, of course, and the officer kicked the door off its hinges. Once we got inside, we all bodily collapsed.
He's been around
Yeah, I'm
archaeologists, so they don't know. You gotta let the bad air out first.
I am pretty sure, yeah, no, the only reason that Natsume hasn't been killed is because his pilot light has probably been burning a lot of the gas.
Because of the gas?
The gas.
I'm also wondering, I don't think we got a good chance to look at Natsume's, like, door before. If his door was knocked off its hinges, I don't know how much, it might be loose. Might have some gaps to let some air out. God, I don't actually know. Is natural gas for gas lamps and stoves heavier or lighter than oxygen?
I believe gas is heavier.
Yeah.
I believe it settles down. Which is why it's such a problem.
Yeah. Because if it rose, then it'd be a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, room was full of it, nowhere at all. Stove must have gone out while the poor chap was sleeping in his bed.
So, Mr. Ross suffocated to death.
Of course, the police gave me a sound taken off because the gas pipe was still old and all that. Can't tell you how much it set me back to have the lot replaced all over the house.
So we did replace them.
So the gas pipes are new. Well, that was hopefully going in my mental pocket for later, because somebody will be like, Mr. Natsume is making it up. The gas pipes were fucking faulty, and then I'll be like, objection. Mr. Garrett says that he replaced all the pipes. So the pipes are brand spanking new.
Yeah, maybe Shamspeare is like blocking up his own gas, so the gas just goes back up or something and leaks into Natsume's room.
If he fucked with his outline, because he's just getting free gas anyway, if he just fucks with his flow, you could probably make it go over. There. Once again, Chad, I would like to remind you, this is not necessarily an exaggeration. There's a reason why there's the term gaslighting about gas lamps and stuff. Like, natural gas lighting in your house, actually very fucking dangerous. It's very shocking, but it's amazing what humans will do for light, especially because our alternative pre this is, oil lamps and candles. Open flame.
No, people don't understand. Humans do some pretty stupid shit.
You make our life like 1% more convenient. We'll do it, even if it is, dangerous to do. We talked earlier about, like pedestrians and car accidents, all because you want to drive a little bit faster.
Fucking radium watches.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, like.
No.
Fucking asbestos, lead.
Oh yeah, the lead shit is old too. There's a reason why. Hey, Chad, if you don't know, fun fact. You probably do know, but do you know why lead's elemental table symbol is PB? It's short for plumbum, as in plumbing. That is the ancient Latin word for lead, because they had lead pipes. They even had a phrase for people who had a melancholy temperament. It was saturnine. Those people who had saturnine temperaments, that lines up with heavy metal poisoning. So those were the people who were just too fucking... The Romans invented a word for the personality type you get when you're fucking depressed and sad because your body is being slowly filled with heavy metals because they were using a lot. No. And yeah, the asbestos is another thing, just like, we've discovered this amazing, fire retardant material. It's great. Oh no, it's really fucking bad for you. Shit, we've put it everywhere. I still remember fucking class action lawsuit ads on TV when I was a kid about and even into my teen years about hey, have you ever gotten lung cancer or some other disease from living in a place with asbestos or handling asbestos? You could be entitled. Wait, sorry. I don't think I've read the line yet. But even after you had all that work done, Mr. Natsume says the same thing. The stove goes out at night while he's asleep in bed.
Well, that's the poly curse. The convict's curse. I've done my duty as a landlord now.
I mean, To be fair, yes, you have replaced all the pipes, so I just wish you guys would start looking for a less supernatural explanation. I'm, the fucking foreigner
I'm
from
gonna
the
be
land.
I know it's funny, but I do think that is human. That was human nature back in the day. What fucking happened? I don't know. Fucking spirits did it.
Yeah, I know. And I admit that, like, Shakespeare does a good vibe of looking like he's not that dangerous. Your mind doesn't naturally jump to, is the weird actor guy trying to fuck with us somehow? But still, it's so funny that it's like, everybody's just like, ghosts, curse. And now I, the weird, dressed in all black Japanese guy, have to be like, no, actually, you fucking idiot. It's murder. Though, actually, that is, I'm pretty sure that's a theme in more than one Sherlock Holmes story, is people are like, Holmes, it's fucking ghosts and ghoulies. And Sherlock Holmes is like, yes,
No, it
interesting
fucking
theory.
ain't. How about not?
Fuck you. I'm a man of science.
Oh.
Yes, we're moving on.
Oh. That reminds me, actually.
Yes?
About young Duncan, the night before the poor chap perished. You've been writing a letter of affection to a young lady.
Maybe a Miss Green? A love letter, you mean?
Yes, where did I put it now?
Sorry, that activated a deep neuron memory. Wasn't Mr. Garrett in trouble in the first game because he had a love letter among his things and his wife misunderstood and tried to beat his ass?
Yes. It was a love letter in a book, I think.
Yeah, he was using it as a bookmark.
Oh, here it is. Left it on my desk.
It's a weird thing to do with somebody else's mail. Now, if you'll excuse me, let me see now. What does it say? To my most beautiful and charming sweetheart.
Do you think we should be reading such a personal piece of correspondence?
My dear Mr. Sato, that is precisely why I prefaced my reading with, if you'll excuse me.
I will not excuse you, Mr. Sholmes. No. We need this. Shut up, Susato.
Oh. Sadly, he didn't address it, though. So I have no means of delivering the thing. Rather sad, really.
I see. That's gonna play on my mind.
Oh, really? The identity of Mr. Ross's sweetheart has no bearing on the case.
That is a lie.
Susato?
I tell you right now.
Mr. Sholmes, do you have a portable phonograph recorder right now? I need you to record what Mr. Sato said so we can play it back later, along with I told you so. And then she just throws me out the window.
She will throw you out the window. I think we should leave well alone. No.
I'm not gonna.
No!
Yes, I suppose
Ryunosuke!
you're right.
Indeed.
I almost went on Mr. Sholmes.
Indeed. The intended recipient's address is missing. However, there is a name attributed to the man's most beautiful and charming sweetheart.
Mr. Sholmes, please. I've already had to chastise you about this once.
My undying love to you, my colorful darling, Olive Green.
Yeah, now you're gonna change your tune, aren't you, Susato? Aren't you? Aren't you?
The shoe is on the other foot now, Mr. Sato, isn't it?
I'm feeling so vindictive. I don't know why.
It's because that was, unfortunately, I'm glad they resolved it immediately. That is a thing that sometimes happens with the assistants in these games where, like, you'll get cock-blocked on a plot point and it's like, no, we're playing a video game right now, video game. Of course it's important. Olive Green? The
Music.
Olive Garden? Unlimited breadsticks? The woman who was plunged into a coma after a knife was plunged into her back? Outside this house 5 days ago?
I'm hungry. Son of a bitch. I gotta stop thinking about food.
We have been talking. I mean, we've made jokes about food, but also the game's been making stuff like with talking about Gregson's, unlimited fish and chips earlier. There was a lot about tea.
Tea?
The victim of the last case Soseki-san was in court for, who regained consciousness only yesterday, Is it just chance that her name has come up now? Could it possibly
No, it's
be
like
a mere coincidence?
Nay.
Mr. Naruhodo, whatever can this mean? Well, we better go fucking find out.
Also important to note that there was he wrote the letter, but there was no address because it wasn't in an envelope, and we have a torn piece of envelope for apparently no reason. Reading personal correspondence can have its merits, you see, Mr. Sato. I do it all the time. Yeah.
I'm fucking Holmes. I think that might be everything. I think we need to go run to Miss Green now.
Yeah, let's see if we can catch her. Yeah, Sato's saying we haven't visited in a little bit.
You might. 22nd of February, St. Bartholomew's Hospital Recovery Ward. I know how they call this place Bart's, but it's always funny. Like we do that because we have a hospital over here, called St. Joseph, so we just call it St. Joe's.
Yeah. And I think there are actually a couple of shocking, I know, chat, saints that are patrons of things. They tend to be reused a lot, but I believe there are several hospitals known as St. Bartholomew's, which are usually abbreviated Bart's.
Mr. Naruhodo, I've just finished speaking with the doctor. It seems Miss Green is well enough to be discharged at last.
Well, hopefully she hasn't actually been discharged. Oh, hold on.
Ah! Oh, yep.
Sorry. I didn't realize they were going to speedball me there. That is good news. But hopefully, just before she leaves, and then you already said
Mhm.
What is it?
Is she about to drink poison?
Miss Green! Don't do that! Holy shit, content warning, Miss Green! What was that? She clearly just hid something behind her back.
One moment. I'll be with you in a jiffy.
No, not one moment. Okay, good. It's gone.
Oh, it's been placed. Oh, hello everyone. What are you all doing here?
Apparently being your lifeline in this time of crisis.
The doctor said I can be discharged, so I'm just getting my things together. Miss Green, what were you just doing? Oh, nothing, really. I was just about to take some medicine the doctor prescribed for me, that's all.
Well, we were hoping to have another quick chat with you, if that's all right.
I don't really have anything else to tell you.
All right, she's definitely behaving strangely. Let's see if we can't coax something out of her.
Present?
She's probably
I'll
going to
let us look
cockblock
at
us, but let's see. This is a bottle that Miss Green was just about to drink from when we arrived.
Yes, she looked rather preoccupied, didn't she?
Perhaps it's very bitter? I can't stand bitter medicine.
I suppose that could be it.
In fact, when a doctor prescribes me medicine for a number of days, I always take it all at once.
Oh no. This explains why you're a fucking idiot.
Well, if you have to take something you don't like, it's best to get it all out of the way in one go, isn't it?
Oh dear. And I thought it was Miss Green I should be worrying about at the moment.
I got a trophy for that.
What?
I got a
What was
special
the
trophy
trophy?
for that. Down in One, it was called. Yeah, there are a few achievements or trophies hidden in some dialogue options. So yeah, that's not relevant right now, but it is very funny.
It is amusing.
You can get the letter. Card that Miss Green was looking at so intently before, isn't it?
Mr. Naruhodo, we shouldn't be peeking at a young girl's private effects.
Yes, we should!
Right. I should save peeking for gentlemen's effects only.
You mustn't do that either.
Stop reading
What
my
was
mind.
effects?
And
And maybe you, Mr. Sato, shouldn't be peeking into a young man's mind either, hmm? Stop reading my
yeah.
mind, woman.
Ah, yes, the unfair sex.
I mean, to be fair, at least she does at least balance it out when you know, Ryunosuke thinks funny, and she's like, no, don't do that one either.
Anyway, we probably have to talk to her.
Let us converse. Let's see what her dialogue options are. Ooh, okay, we're definitely gonna have to do some presenting here, I think. She's only got one dialogue box right now.
Yeah.
It's wonderful news that you're going to be discharged, Miss Green.
Oh, yes. I mean, thank you. I still can't get her voice down. Once people are better, the hospital staff don't want them lingering and wasting space. Not people like me, anyway. So I don't think I should keep anyone waiting. I probably shouldn't stand around and chat.
She certainly doesn't seem to be in the mood to talk, that's for sure.
Yep, time to present a picture.
All right, cool. But what if you looked at this? Miss Green, we were hoping to ask you about someone. Mr. Duncan Ross. You knew him, didn't you?
Oh, shit! That doesn't look like... No, Mouse! No! No! No!
Oh, no, I'm so sorry. The bottle of medicine fell down when she did. Also, Ryunosuke, I think you fucking killed her.
Oh, Miss Green, are you alright?
Luckily, we're in the fucking hospital.
I was scared that the mouse was gonna go drink it and fucking just keel over.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to startle you like that.
No, it's alright. I just wasn't expecting it. But how do you know about Duncan? Miss Ross has been writing a letter when he passed away. A landlord found it in his room. It was a very personal letter. To you. Oh. It was at the art school. That's where I met Duncan, a year ago now. He was working to fund his studies. He dreamt of becoming a professional artist one day. And the two of you became romantically involved. Yes, that's right. We were very much in love. We were engaged to being married, actually. That's why I decided to move into a cheaper room to save money for the wedding.
What a twist! And that's what led him to Mr. Garadeb's, the cursed lodgings.
Yes, he told me he found the worst but cheapest room in the entire East End.
Damn, dude. Shit.
Mr. Garadeb, for real, man.
I mean, I brought this up earlier. Shamsbury hasn't paid his rent in 3 months and is still in his room, like, not physically tossed out. So I guess the rent is, if you can bullshit long enough, the rent's free. But it's also hella cursed.
And then, 1 month ago, that's when it happened. We're so terribly sorry, Miss Green. Well, it's all in the past now, I suppose. Poor Miss Green. She looks desperately sad.
I'm starting to think that's just her look.
Aye.
But now I see that she has every reason to feel the universe is against her. Yes, she's not sad just 'cause it's...
Oh, no! No!
Uh-oh.
Rat! I do hope you won't think I'm being rude, but... Would you mind leaving me in peace now? I have to leave the hospital soon.
Oh, I'm so sorry. We didn't mean to hold you up. Of course, we'll be on our way.
I don't know who this is.
Mr.
Holmes?
Naruhodo.
It is Holmes! Rat!
Surely you are not about to leave? That's quite out of the question. This fucking rat is dead! No, Mr. Naruhodo. What? Mr. Sholmes, I didn't realize you were here. But of course I was, my dear fellow. Watching intently from the shadows, as always.
I kind of just wish that Holmes was just like outside the window, just pressed against it.
That would be great if they hid him in there. Well, make your presence known next time.
Mr. Sholmes, what's this about?
It's about the dead fucking rat. Look at him. Look at him down there. He was so happy. Now he's fucking dead. Who did this?
He was just bobbing his head to the music that only he could hear in his heart and soul, and now it is gone forever.
Anyway, actually, something that occurs to me with some regularity, Mr. Soto, is this. Why do detectives insist on such ex post facto modus operandi? Why solve a case after it's happened instead of preventing a case before it happens? That's what set a great detective apart. How do you mean? That is a case waiting to happen under our very noses, Mr. Naruhodo. So let us avert disaster. Let us prevent this case from ever happening. With nothing but careful observation. All right.
If we're gonna prevent the death of one Miss Olive Green, yes, this would stop a case before it happens. So
yes,
technically, you're correct, Mr. Sholmes, and I hate it.
I do believe Sholmes is in a very roundabout saying, "Hey, Mr. Naruhodo, let's prevent a suicide today." This is what I said earlier. Holy content wording, Batman. All the clues you need are set before you. You need only to look, and you cannot fail to see.
You can do it, Mr. Naruhodo. I know you can. Examine. Just examine. It's
really obvious.
That mouse seems to be dead. Look, I didn't notice it there before, did you?
We all did notice it, Ryunosuke. We all did.
I think it perhaps drank the medicine that spilled out of the bottle. Maybe it...
I mean, we really should make the poison for Cusco joke because this fucking quote-unquote medicine is the exact same color as the poison from Emperor's New Groove. It is fucking radioactive purple right now.
Is that rat about to turn into a llama? But that's the bottle that Miss Green was about to drink before we arrived. I feel like we should...
No, you don't think. Ah! I see you've come to appreciate the true nature of this scene. That of a tragedy about to take place. Yeah, I think it's falling into place. You probably could have said that a little more directly, my guy. Miss Green, the contents of the bottle you had before it spill out on the floor. And the poor mouse that drank it. And the poor mouse that drank it has sadly died. I think it's clear that the bottle must have contained a powerful poison.
A mighty malady.
Don't worry. I'll attend to the mouse presently.
She's gonna give him a tiny funeral, as he deserves.
Yes.
Bury that
Godspeed,
mouse with
Tiny
honors.
Mouse. 21 gun salute.
Also, as I do want to point out, we mentioned this last time I think we saw him, but it's a pretty big fucking mouse. I guess that's why he went for the free drink. They must be feeding him well at the hospital.
Mr. Whisker.
Were you intending to go the same way as that rodentia? To take your own life? Once we'd left, you would have put it to your lips again, wouldn't you? And taken the poison?
No! Miss Green, please. Please talk to us.
If you're feeling down, chat, speak to somebody. Reach out. I believe there is actually a like federally mandated mental health hotline that's a 3-digit number like 911. I do not remember the digits right now, but you can look it up. You can call them at any time about anything. It doesn't have to be suicidal ideation. If you just need to hang out, man.
I mean, I tried calling a suicide hotline once. It was Not very effective. It made me stop feeling suicidal, but in a completely roundabout method.
You got really annoyed at the guy on the other end of the line?
No, seriously, no, it was a woman, and she asked, "Are you masturbating right now?" And I was like, "Excuse me, what?"
Oh my god, I kind of feel bad for that lady because I can only assume that that has happened to her before.
I know, it probably has, but I was like literally having a freak out because this is when I was back on unemployment after losing my job, and there had been an error, and it said that I was gonna owe the unemployment office like over $10,000, which guess what? I was unemployed at the time. I was done, and I was just like, I was just done. I was just at that moment of just like, there's no point. I'm just fucking fucked. No matter what I do, it's just gonna keep happening. And then, but you know, I've been on this kind of path before. My friend says, "Hey man, you gotta promise me if you ever feel this, you gotta call. At least try." And I was like, "Okay, fine, sure." And I did. And this woman didn't sound like she had any idea what she was talking about. She sounded like she was just reading from a list of questions, and on the paper. And like I said, like I was just so worked up, like I was pacing around outside, and she just asked me, "Are you masturbating right now?" Like in this like semi-accusatory tone. I'm just like that like snapped me so far out of my grief that I just got angry. And you know, it's like what was it? What was it, like the third Terminator movie? You know, where you know, when Arnold goes, you know, anger is a much more motivating factor than, you know, depression. It was that completely. It just completely snapped me out of it because I just got so pissed. She tried calling, like I hung up on her there, and she tried calling me back, and I was like, "No, fuck you." So she called the police to do a suicide watch, and I hung out with the cops for like a half hour and talked to them. Those are other people you can actually call. You can actually call the cops, and they can come out and talk to you.
Yeah. They
They actually said, yeah, you know, if you're ever feeling like that, just call us.
I think 988 is the number. But yeah, there's an equivalent service to dialing 911 for any kind of mental crisis where they can hopefully help you out. And statistically, it's proven to be very effective. But as usual, there are concerns about the government spending money on making you feel better, safer, and more alive. That's why it's important to vote in your elections. What a fun topic to dive into.
Sorry, it's just, I know it's a weird one. It's
No,
just
no,
one of
I
those,
know. It's literally coming up in the story we're in right now. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
Like, hey, everybody, be cool. 10 seconds later, we would have arrived at a very different scene here. In all probability, we would not have enjoyed this most delightful conversation. It's just that much of a fucking good poison. Though, perhaps it hasn't been quite so delightful from your perspective, Miss Green.
Oh. Actually, in a way. Now that everything's out in the open, I feel like a weight has been lifted.
Tell me, how did you acquire this medicine? Is it strychnine?
Oh. Well, with this being in hospital and all, when the doctors come to examine me in the mornings, he always leave the medicine cabinet open for a while, so I snuck this out when he wasn't looking.
It's not strychnine. But it might be. It might be. It conspicuously lacks a label. I wonder what it contains.
I'm afraid I really don't know. But I thought, if I drank it, it might just stop the pain somehow. Oh, please, Miss Green. Don't talk of such things.
Look at this face, Miss Green. Can you say no to this face?
I can, yes.
Well, it seems clear now that it contains poison.
Yes, that poor little mouse is proof of that.
R.I.P., Mr. Whiskers.
Oh no. Oh, it's all my fault. What have I done? You should feel ashamed.
Though technically it's Ryunosuke's fault, because he gave you such a bad shock you fell on the floor.
Yes, but if we hadn't done that, we probably would have left.
True. I shall remove this to my office, Miss Green. I take it you have no objection?
No, none.
Cool, I'm going to do fucking science! So do I present the photograph? No. Let me see. Maybe the poison.
Well, that's new again.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because she was looking at it when she was going to drink, so hopefully we'll be able to actually look at it now. Definitely feels as though this card must be relevant. I mean, when we first arrived, Miss Green was standing with it in her hand, what can only be described as a very tense atmosphere.
Yes. It may very be well to rely on whatever that Mrs. Holmes was believe about to happen here. Perhaps we should ask Miss Green about it.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
That gave us
And I think the photo, yes.
Yeah, okay, so we still can't... Yeah, we're just straight up saying now. Mr. Duncan Ross. Who would ever thought he was engaged to be married to Miss Green?
Lose one's beloved fiance must be painful enough.
But
Then
then
Miss
Miss...
Green suffered that. Oh, fuck! I feel like. Why do you stop?
Yeah, I don't know why they go back and forth sometimes. I'm pretty sure when Susato is talking, she has a mouth flap animation, but it's like some of these dialogue boxes move fast enough it's hard to tell. But then Miss Green suffered that awful injury, and that's at her fiance's former lodgings too. Weird.
Fate can be so cruel sometimes. All right, let's try another talk. Excellent.
The card. What's wrong with this envelope?
Neither the sender's name or address appears to be written on the envelope or the card. It arrived by post at my home the day before the incident put me in the hospital here. I saw that the envelope was torn. I thought, oh, maybe that may be related, but yes, yes.
I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. Hey, didn't Shakespeare go out that evening before the Great Debate?
Yeah.
What day of the month was that?
Probably the 17th.
Don't tell anybody about this letter of the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance. It's all coming together. Wait a minute. The 17th? Of this month? That's the day. That's the day you were stabbed on Briar Road. Oh, so it wouldn't be quite the same day.
5 p.m.
It was precisely the time when the incident occurred. The Slug and Salad, yes. A pub on the northern corner of Briar Road. Oh, shit. That's why we still have the street map.
Yeah.
The game was nice to us, and they didn't give it to us, actually. Is it marked on the map? No, not right now, but I bet we can figure it out. Maybe it'll update. Briar Road, being the street that Mr. Garadeb's house is on.
Does this mean that... Yes, I'm sure you've guessed. That day, when I was struck in the back by the knife, I was actually on my way to the Slug and Salad. Goodness.
So that's what you were doing on Briar Road that day.
I'm sorry I didn't say anything before. I think I really have to ask you to excuse me now. I've told you everything. I don't know about that.
Yes, I'm very sorry to drag up such painful memories for you.
No, it's fine. Miss Green. Please, promise that you won't try to do anything like that again. Yes, don't worry. Your defective friend has the bottle now anyway. And besides, I've been stabbed in the back and had a close shave with a bottle of poison, and I'm still here. I think I'm destined to see things through to the end. Yeah. It might sound a little conceited, but, well, that's how all this has made me feel. Yeah.
Leaving Miss Green and St. Bartholomew behind, we made our way back to Baker Street with Mr. Sholmes. Oh, it's night now. Well, it would appear we've reached the end of the investigative trail for today. Yeah, it's late. And, Mr. Naruhodo, did you discover anything that may be of use to you in court tomorrow, do you think? Details about Mr. Shamspeare, Mr. Garradeb's lodging, the convict Selden. There are many facets to this case, and we're yet to see to the heart of it, if you ask me. That's my feeling, anyway. Yeah, we haven't actually gotten, like, the whole...
No, I'm pretty sure we have filled in, like, the fucking moat, but we have not breached the fucking defenses here.
Yeah. Ryunosuke has enough evidence through witness testimony and new court record stuff to, like, build a new case, but we're gonna have some legwork to do.
Yeah, no, we're gonna have to deal with a lot of people saying, no, you don't. And we're gonna be like, guys, I have reasonable and plausible... Oh god, what is it?
I mean, yes, we're absolutely about to create reasonable doubt in this fucking case, but it's Ace Attorney, so that's not gonna fucking matter.
That's the term, reasonable doubt.
Yeah, they're gonna get on our ass because unfortunately these games do require you to empirically prove either via evidence or via causing the complete mental devastation of the true criminal that our client didn't do it, which is more thorough for a kind of puzzle, visual novel type game about solving like mysteries and shit, but is absolutely not what a real lawyer's job is like. So long as you get reasonable doubt on the jury and like they act correctly in the proceedings behind closed doors, you get to hang them up and go home, baby. And to Mr. Natsume's team, eh?
Yes. Will they find strychnine in it or not?
Well, I fear that either way, you're still going to have to play out the rest of the game. It'll be hard to escape the grip of our friend, Mr. Reaper. He's kind of an asshole like that.
Oh dear.
I also like that Shobes is saying out loud the thing I said earlier, which is, take your bet. I said earlier, chat, take your bets now if there's going to be poison in the tea or not. But it doesn't matter because no matter which result we get, Van Zieks is going to be on our ass because I don't know what he's doing in his spare time. Probably buying another dozen bottles of wine and glasses so he can throw them. But he's going to be like, okay, if there's not poison in the tea, how the fuck did the poison get into Shamspeare's system? The only person who is physically in the room with him is Natsume, therefore he is the only possible suspect. Ipso facto, prove it. And if it is in the tea, he's going to be like, see, I told you it was in the tea, even though they both drank the tea at the same time, and we don't even know if Shamspeare drank the tea later when he put it in his fucking soap, so it's like, open-ended. Yes, Beric Van Zieks. But I wish you every success, of course. And though I was late to rise this morning, tomorrow will be a new dawn. I intend to spring from bed at a crisp hour to attend the trial. Also, chat, take your fucking bets on that one.
Oh, I bet he's definitely gonna have to take the stand and be like, yes, behold, my super duper gadgets I invented for me.
Mr. Sholmes, you're going to come?
Indeed, whatever happens, I shall be there. Assuming my eyelids cooperate in the morning.
Miss Iris, discombobulate this man.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Miss Iris Wilson, recombobulate this man. She just
It's
puts
Iris
the tea.
Wilson off the top rope.
She just puts the tea in her like smoke gun, applies it directly to his face. Well, I think we've done all we can. All that's left is to remain focused and keep fighting for Mr. Natsume's cause until the very end. And we're going to get another to be continued in a second here, I bet. Which will be perfect, because we've crossed 3 hours. London, the world's most prosperous city, home to 6 million people. But away from the razzle-dazzle, down back alleys and bricked-up windows, the lonely lurk. Soseki-san had battled long and hard with loneliness during his many months here. And so I feel honor bound to battle equally hard for my compatriot, to lift the curse that gripped him. As Mr. Sholmes said, tomorrow would be a new dawn for all of us. I'll make sure, with my sword.
All right, but that is probably the best stopping point we're going to get as we have just crossed the 3 hour mark.
Yeah, I know. Perfectly timed.
Perfectly timed.
Other than we got lost for what, maybe like 10, 15 minutes?
A little bit there, yeah.
It's my bad.
Again, the game really does want you to click on every little thing, which is fair. You don't want to go into the... The game probably does not want you to go into, the next day without everything you need to succeed, because then you're just playing a fail state.
Yeah,
you're wasting
it wants
time.
to prevent a failure state, but it is one of those things where it could have been telegraphed a little better, because I thought at first when I think I even went there to check what Susato's dialogue was when we started, I was like, oh, all these look recap-ish.
Yeah.
And we don't really need a recap on the events. And they kind of were, but they were correct. There were new options brought up, and I do believe this is the first time in this game that we actually talked about the Cosmo subplot directly, which is, going to be coming back in later installments. So it was good for them to kind of, ease us back in. Like I said, it's one of those weird cases where, when you're, unlocking new dialogue boxes, new options to click, or when, you have to enter dialogue, I kind of wish the game would be a little more direct, since it's all just clicking anyway. It's not like a puzzle to solve. It's just, probably should have just started me conversing to Susato, run down the line, and then we can leave and go about the field and, find stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, we crossed 3 hours. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Blog it up here, and hopefully next week, I won't say for sure we can clean it all up, but hopefully we can have a pretty good run at clearing up the case. I think, as usual, Lucky and I have a pretty good idea of what's going on here. The question will just be figuring out the right way to steer first Ryunosuke onto that course, because he's technically, we're wildly conjecturing because we have meta knowledge, but he's not 100% clued into the case, and then obviously we're going to have to convince the fucking jury as well. So, we'll have some work cut out for us, but hopefully we got all our bits. Sorry, there was a very funny Discord post I saw. But thanks everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hopefully, Zeus willing, Fail Betrayal will be back tomorrow, and we will be back with Final Fantasy XIV on Wednesday. Hopefully, the streams will be good. But it is stormy and stuff, and I guess we got some fucking kinks in the power grid to work out, apparently. But thanks so much for tuning in. Sorry about the couple of the bandwidth scuffs there. Believe it or not, chat, the stream has not been running so long that we've reduced the dropped frames percentage to nil. OBS is still saying that technically we dropped 1.3% of frames. So 99% of your stream wasn't scuffed, but there's still that 1%. So thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time. Good night, everybody.